Bitch, I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud, but I'ma go all the way up. Bad girl from the store, she taking me out of this world. Bitch, I'ma go wave. Nice guy with a cold shoulder. You be cool, but I don't know you. Wrote a flower and I'm off the potion. Give me superpowers and I won't stop to the bank roll on supermassive. Big bank for the space chatter. Way up in a squad NASA. Couple filled with the dark magic. Subtle flex when I run a race. Tell these rap niggas eat my dust. Lil baddie after cellular. Talking life and how we set it up. I'm a sharpshooter, yeah, Will Smith. Call me Prince Park, let me freshen up. Bay boy on a level up. Way up near the nebulas. I'm never copping a chain. Cause I see it all through the frames. And I leave it all on the page. It's feeling like they want me locked in a cage. They want us all in the fake shit, but I'ma go all the way A with it, cause I don't feel all the way safe here. Nah, spray the champagne, shower up in the air. Stunner goggles, what the fuck is a flute? Untamed and she wild off the goose. Ghost ride, bitch, I come through the roof. Fuck 12, cause they all on my tail. Hella wild and I break all the rules. Chill, bro, you way out of line. Yeah, I know it's a mood. Bitch, I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud, but I'ma go all the way up. Bad girl from the store. She taking me out of this world, bitch, I'ma go all the way. Got the spinning, got the gator spinning, I'm outrageous with it, going crazy with it. Got the phrase jumping off the page, gifted, got the waves pushing, got the neighbors tripping, got the trap booming, jumping off the speakers. Drip on me, jumping off the easel. Gold wristed, couldn't tell me shit, bitch. No, bought a fisted. Cooking the bars, turn a lab into a living kitchen. Niggas grimace when I water with it. Subtle flexing, live a candid image. Come from pushing in the S-type with no license, gas load, the windows tinted. Still couldn't see me with the zoom on your little vision. Nah, we are not the same, we got different lenses. No one snapping like we something real vivid, keep it realistic. Fuck the spitter with my day ones. Got the label making bank runs, cause a train of thought like a freight. I'm the type to get a late start. You the type to be afraid, huh? I'm the type to never have things. You the type to have it made, huh? Yeah, wave. And I keep fuel to the flame, huh? How they got me going this hard? Really, I'm the type to never say much. Vice grip, got the game clutch. Every song make the stage rush. I always said making money might change things, but never let it make us. Bitch, I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud, but I'ma go all the way up. Bad girl from the store. She taking me out of this world, bitch, I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud. Bitch, I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud. Bitch, I'ma go all the way up. Young nigga with a dream, hold it down for my team. I'm afraid of how I'm feeling. I get high in the ceiling. How I'm feeling. High in the ceiling. I've been living like on pass routes. In this ride, to living like I'm finished. Wait, louder. Bitch, I'ma go all the way up. Wait.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Trigger Mike. Sorry for being late. I know we're about an hour behind today, but I was chopping it up with my man JR in the back. We haven't really got to chop it up. It's been all business for a little while, but put y'all on break. I put y'all on hold. Y'all won't go nowhere. Nowhere. I don't got to dip out at 3. I put my daughter back in aftercare. Y'all know I'm going back. Going back to the corporate world, man. When you run something, take time to work on your business, work on your numerous endeavors, work on launching your YouTube career. Sometimes stuff just happens quicker than you could have imagined, but we back in the swing of things. Thank y'all for taking time out to rock with your boy Trigger Mike today. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming through on the Lapeef Network. This is the greatest network on YouTube. If you didn't know, we are on our way to 100,000 subscribers. So we need your help with that. So make sure you like this video for the YouTube algorithm, which is much appreciated. Subscribe if you have not already, because I know y'all are watching. It's free. Hit the subscribe button and show support to your people. And share this out to your people in your Instagram chat, your Facebook news feed, your group me, your WhatsApp, or whatever, and let them know this is what you're watching. This is what we like to call a culture wave. We trying to start a wave of people watching this stuff, so everybody's talking about the same thing at work. And that's what's been happening. But remember, there are 8 billion people in this world, and we're trying to get to 100K. We're trying to affect more people and have more people joining in on the conversation, get more perspectives, right? So we can touch more lives and do what we do here at this great network. Appreciate that. Shout out to the sponsor, Tiege Hanley. That Tiege pack is on sale now, 30% off, along with a free gift. The link is in the description. Father's Day is coming up. That will be an excellent addition to whatever bag you giving your husband. Good skincare. Trust me, I know. I have had problems with skincare since I was a teenager. Then getting into the service, I had problems with, what is it called? Folliculitis, razor bumps. So skincare for men is definitely popping out here in these streets, and I want y'all to get on it quick. Shout out to the sponsor, Tiege Hanley. Again, make sure you hit that link down below to get what they have to offer. If you would like to support the show, you can do so via Super Chat. We will read those Super Chats aloud on this show and on this broadcast. And super thanks are always allowed if you are watching this after the broadcast is over. We'd appreciate that too. Thank y'all so much for that. It is, again, raining. Y'all know how my neighborhood do, so if I just blank out, bear with me, and I'll be back soon. Damn, Houston don't stop. The rain don't stop sometimes out here. But I think it's much needed. I forgot to turn my sprinkler back on, so the plants around my house, the grass definitely needs some water. So that is much appreciated. Thank you, God, for that. And who we got in the chat? I just want to shout out people who may be here. All right, coming in. What up, Dale Matthew? Little Bob, what's going on? Quincy, what's up? Flex Henry in the building. What's up? He says Ghost didn't lie to Angela. She knew exactly what she was getting into. That's what I'm talking about. Flex Henry, accountability. Edward Gilbert, what's going on, Chief? Bear, what's up? What's up? Jill's Chocolate Boutique, always faithful, always in the chat. You know, we appreciate you. Lacey's always here. Advanced Perception's always in the building. Thank y'all for coming through. Jamal Brown, what's up, my man? How you doing? Thank you for your patronage on this fine Wednesday, May 10th, 2023. Now, you all have seen, my man King Spark, what up, though? We all have seen the title already of today's show. The title is Lies and Deception in Relationships. Because we have scrapped the courtship process for the dating process, which is literally just hoeing. That's it. Hoeing with food involved. I know a lot of y'all have a lot to tell on this particular topic. I want to hear from the men. I want to hear from the woman. And I usually I don't do this. I usually don't do this because ever since I started this show, JR had to coach me on some of the things that will be happening when you develop a name for yourself, when you come out, you do a show and you do it well. People are going to want to impress upon you. People are going to want to send you messages. People are going to want to join your Patreon, all these different type of things. And I had to check. I never did this before because it's usually just spam, right? I had to start checking my Instagram request box in my, the DM area. And that stuff is flooded with people giving me show topics. Some of the people I put in my primary box, y'all sending me videos to watch, and I watch them when I can. Absolutely. I absolutely watch them. But yesterday, I guess right at the right time while I was scrolling through the phone, I was actually looking in the request box and a request came in. And the lady was talking about sincerely asking me to tell her side of the story. And she told me. And I read it and I was like, okay, well, we can do that because this is speaking to the topic we have today. Lies and deception. Lies and deception in relationships. Something everybody has experienced. Male, female, don't matter. Different parts in your life, different relationships, maybe a marriage, maybe paternity, maybe, all type of situations like that. I guess. Oh, I'm sorry. There's been deception in maternity. I've look, there's been deception in maternity. I've even heard that. We're usually talking about false paternity. There's also a such thing as false maternity. People lying to you about who your real mama is. So it's not just in the movies. I've actually seen that in real life. So I thought everybody could partake on this topic. And I asked the lady without giving her name, I'm going to read the entire message she sent me yesterday. And what I'm going to do right now is drop the link. So after I'm done with this, we're going to chop it up. We're going to talk. I got some questions for y'all. One of the questions, after you give your opening thoughts on this particular situation I'm about to read, I want to know, what is the worst lie a woman can tell? Then we're going to talk about what's the worst lie a man can tell. And then finally, we're going to end it. These conversations go for hours now. So that I only have 3 questions today. Lies and deception in relationships. It's all centered around that one topic. All right. But then I want to know, what is the worst lie you've ever been told? And what is the worst lie you've ever told? All right. We're going to keep it real simple today. All right. So the link is dropped. Come up, chat with me. I see you in the back, JT. Let me read this story and then we're going to chop it up about that. So this says, I'm reading, this lady who shall remain nameless sent me this in my request box yesterday. Dear Mr. Mike, I humbly greet you. I am nothing special. I am ordinary, average, and just a simple human woman. I have been listening to you now for perhaps maybe a month, and I have cried and laughed. But most of all, I have been humbled and I have learned. My story is not different, nor is it uncommon. However, if I can humbly say, it is less talked about. I got married to a man whom represented himself to be someone he was not. Long story short, he was a scammer. He did not look like a thug. He wasn't raised in the ghetto. He was an African man, raised with good parents. We lived in different states, so while we were courting, I didn't know much about him. Long story short, I waited until marriage to be intimate, and within 2 years, we had 2 children. But one day, my world crumbled when I was called at work to come home to find the FBI destroying my home because my husband was being indicted for conspiracy to commit fraud. Long story short, before I met him, he and a group of friends were involved in an elaborate scheme to scam people using romance scams, stealing of credits, and fraudulent transactions. There's more to my story. So here I am, not even 5 years into our whole relationship, including marriage, and I am a single mother because he had to go to federal prison and headed for divorce. Yes, I have a part to play, mainly not listen to God or not listening to God. I did not know how to spot a scammer, but there were signs. He went to prison. I left with 2 children. I was left with 2 children, no money, no security, vulnerable and very broken. Yes, I am not at all special. I am just pleading with you to tell stories like mine. Not all are just wanting to be single women and depending on the government. I am educated, and by the grace of God, I make an income that does not qualify me to receive any government assistance. Please share my story and offer hope for people that may have a slightly different experience / story out there. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you do. God bless you immensely. All right, let's talk about it. Mr. Rich, what's going on?
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm good this afternoon. It's
All
just a
right.
little rainy, but we'll get through it. So, what do y'all think about that story?
It's deep.
It is deep. It is.
Yeah, man. I mean, it happens. Guys misrepresent themselves all the time. He might have shown some signs that she just wasn't looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But it was poignant. So, what do you want to do? Opening remarks, or you want to just
Yeah, we're
ask
just
about?
doing opening thoughts, basically on that story before we start
Yeah,
chopping it up about anything else.
you must get a lot of stories by now, though.
Eh, I don't even get into I because there are 3 different inboxes, so
Right?
I'm always looking at the primary because a lot of stuff comes in there. A lot of the people, setting up the show, just people asking me if they could come on shows I'm not even in charge of, right? But then sometimes I'll be like, oh, request. I'll see that blue dot, and it is flooded in there. So this one
That's
came
good.
through as I was trying to clear out the other ones, and that's why I read it. Uh, yeah. So JT, opening thoughts. What do you think about the story?
Opening thoughts, opening thoughts. Well, first, let me say this real quick. Let me get this out the way real quick. Does anybody remember what I said on the last topic yesterday?
On
It'll
the
refresh
last
your
topic?
memory.
Yeah, give me a refresher.
I never got to go. I never got to go. I never got to go.
Yo, man, you're funny
Oh
dude,
shit,
man.
he killed me with that one. All right, you're right.
So,
You're right. That's our bad.
but speaking on to this topic, um, people lie. Pain is right. Men and women. I don't think that's exempt to any sex, gender orientation, color. People sometimes it's their second nature. Sometimes people lie so bad that they convince their own self that they're lying.
Right.
Uh,
Mhm.
as far as her situation in particular, honestly, I think that's like a culture to them. And we've all heard of Nigerian scammer stories. It's
Yep.
kind of like how the Indians do the computer scams that make you think you have a virus, and they prey on older people, and next thing you know, the old woman is sent thousands of dollars trying to get a virus off her computer. I think there's just certain areas where people can use a lie to profit from,
Mm.
and that often drives people to lie. He could have been lying for what he felt like was a good cause. The same reason why back in the day people would say they sold drugs. It's because they need to provide for their family by any means. So I mean, it could be people who think they're doing it for a good reason on their behalf, but to the detriment of the opposite person who's receiving it.
All right. I like that. That was solid. Mr. John the Baptist, what's going on?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How you doing today, Trigger?
Oh, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Did you get a chance to hear the story?
I caught the last little bit of you talking about the lady who chose the wrong man, the man Nigerian guy that left her with 2 kids, was involved in a scam.
Yeah,
That
you
story.
heard the whole damn story. If you heard the Nigerian part, that was at the beginning. Yep. Good.
Yeah. Um, and when it comes to lies and deception in relationships, yes, it most definitely happens. And I know we live in this YouTube world where we talk about it's mostly just women, mostly just women. But no, it's lies and deception on both sexes.
Of course.
Um, I'm sorry, somebody's trying to say something.
No, just said of course when you said that.
Okay. Yeah. And so and what happened to this young lady? I don't know this young lady. Never heard her story before. But is it possible something like that can happen? Most definitely, it's very possible, very plausible and possible. Um, and what I say to that is, it happens to women and it happens to men. It is
Hmm.
unfortunate it happened to this young lady. But this is why I say one of my beliefs is that community is so important for a particular reason, and this is one of the particular reasons. But there are vulnerable people in society that get taken advantage of. And if we had a more of a community mindset, more of an individual mindset, the community can help weed out bad individuals, whether it be male or female. There was a point in time in our history where there would be men who would weed out the bad men, and there would be women who would weed out the bad women. They would not let this stuff stay in our communities, whether it be black, white, or just society in general. We would police our own communities as far as behavior and social norms. I can remember a time where women used to shame women for getting pregnant before marriage. They were actually shamed. There were times where men used to shame men for not carrying their weight as a man. They were shamed for it, and they treated them as people that were not of the community. But somehow, in the past, I'm gonna say in my lifetime that I can really speak of, we don't see this anymore. And so, therefore, what happened? That happened to this young lady. It sounds like and this me just judging from the story. It sounds like she's not part of a community. She's making decisions based on her own. And we need to stop moving like lone wolves, as much lone wolves, and start moving as part of a pack again.
All right, my man King Spark. You heard the
What
story?
up? What up? Yeah, man, I heard the story.
Yeah.
And I honestly, it's fucked up. But all I could think about was Brother Ikene coming up here and letting us know how to catch an African scammer. Let me tell you something. That is what I'm waiting on right now. That's all I got, right? That's what
he's
I'm
gonna
waiting
start
on.
it all. You know how he's gonna start it all too. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, that's so funny.
This is how you catch an African.
Hey, Sugar Mike, I had an African big brother when I was pledging.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, straight from Africa, man. He was a Nigerian brother. He was a trip. He's still a trip. We called him 10 flashing fingers.
Damn.
Yeah,
Hell
Mr.
of a
Ikene
name.
with that transition, and I have to tell you,
It's legendary though. It's legendary voice though.
Trigger Mike.
Wait, hold on. Yo, I was like, is that him? I was like, he ain't come up here yet.
That's so funny, man.
You heard the Nigerian story. He don't want no parts of it. He gonna wait for
now. You heard the story?
No, can y'all catch me up on it?
So basically, I was reading a story that somebody sent me in my inbox. They said they want their story told. She's basically a woman that married a Nigerian scammer, and he got caught up by the feds. He's in jail. Left her with 2 kids. What do you think about that?
Oh
the title of today, of course, is Lies and Deception.
Right.
What are your opening thoughts about such occurrences?
Yeah. So if that's, I mean, geez, I'll just be real quick. But if that's the situation, I mean, damn. Better luck with like 90-Day Fiance or something, or Bachelorette, or I mean, it doesn't seem to work out too much on those shows either. They go through their own ups and downs. But Lies and Deception. Now it happens in relationships, but I think it's worse when it happens in a marriage, because it's like, wait a minute, I've been rocking with you all this time, and all of a sudden, here comes like SWAT and all that. What's all this about? So, yeah, it's a real like gut punch when someone like has been keeping something from you for so long, and then it catches up with them, and then it kind of nets you in there. So yeah, I can see that. I mean, especially, and now you got kids involved in this. So now you got 2 human beings in this that have to live with this, whatever it is, this shame or embarrassment for the rest of their lives.
All right. Let me go on this, man, because this is actually very important. I already thanked the lady for sending me the stuff, but I'll thank her again, because these particular stories, we got to break them down bit by bit, because we villainize them. We just, these aren't as stories. There's a lot of depth to it that we don't unpack, and we just either shame the man for doing what he did, shame the woman for doing what she did. But you got to go deeper within the layers of what's going on, because it's actually a systemic issue. And the worst part about it, and this is the unfortunate part, the world we live in today, this is actually going to keep happening. It's not a one-off story. Unfortunately, I can't say this is going to happen or these occurrences are going to decrease. It's not. It's going to severely increase in the occurrence, because the way women have chosen to move, there's only really one proven method, or a few proven methods, to keep women safe from stuff like this. And women are canceling that out. They're shunning it, saying we don't want that method. So unfortunately, this will keep happening. Now, for the lady involved in the story, and all women listening, y'all are starting to realize, I guess, in small part, because so many men are talking about it, how vulnerable you actually are in this world. You are vulnerable. Remember, I am not responsible for men I did not raise. I know as a man that there are bandits, thieves, criminals, degenerates out there, and I move accordingly to be able to avoid them and protect my family from them. So if I know this and I'm trying to stay out of their way, women have to be 10 times as careful as I do. I can take those niggas out. You can't. You're susceptible. You're vulnerable to them. So why wouldn't you ever think that you need to have vigilance when it comes to all men? Let men vet men for you. Not saying that she didn't, but I'm speaking in general, right? So
Hey, Mike,
these
though,
men, yeah.
check this out, though, right? And I'm just sitting here thinking about this. If she got courted by the African scammer dude, she probably was more on the materialistic type. Cause them dudes ain't the most subtle dudes
Yeah,
that I know.
let me
I
say
had
this
a
too,
question.
because this
You
is
know what
how
I'm
they keep
saying?
themselves, this is how they keep themselves safe from it. These men will prey on your loneliness. This is why this is going to keep happening. We're
Yeah.
going to have the loneliest women ever. Look at what's that show that was on Netflix, that damn thing that came out. What the dude that just getting money from random women?
Oh,
Oh, the Tinder swindler.
Tinder
yeah,
swindler.
yeah.
Yeah.
You ask me with my mind and my conscience, I'm wondering how something like that is possible. But it's because I'm not lonely like the average woman is. I don't have the ability to feel that lonely to give people. A woman asked me for $100 is a problem. What the hell wrong with you?
Yeah. This
$100.
happened.
You see what I'm saying? So these men will prey on your loneliness. That is how vulnerable you are. You are susceptible to it because you won't even know it's happening to you. All right.
So,
All of
Mike,
these women that are in my face at the barbecues talking about they don't need a man or crying on my wife's phone at night, telling me how lonely they are. That is a gaping hole for a man to come in and fill your life with bullshit. So y'all need to be aware of that. Now,
so Mike,
hold on. Let me I got a few more
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
things. One of the only proven methods, of course, that we know is the actual courtship process where your father picks the man for you. The men that you trust in your family pick the men for you. And the men that they usually pick, and this is important for women to note, for women that aren't married, your future husband is in your past. The reason y'all keep having problems in relationships is because you don't know the men you're associating with. If you knew someone from middle school, you could speak volumes on that person's character. You've naturally seen them in every situation. You've seen them react. You've seen them be kind. You've seen them be vulnerable. You've seen them be mad. That is the length of time it takes to know most people. If you're not courting if you're not courting in the traditional way. Mr. Ikene said it the other day on the show. You're supposed to take these people straight home. Start introducing them to the family, having them intermingle with the family. Your sister's coming over every Saturday. He's spending time out fishing with your dad. That is how you're supposed to do these engagements when you are trying to marry somebody, but y'all don't know these people y'all getting into relationships with, but want to ring 1 year after you met them. You don't know that fool. How she's saying she didn't know, and I believe her. How could you possibly know somebody running scams? How could you possibly see how they know enough about their life when you met them that way? You couldn't possibly know. All right, so that's all I got on it. What y'all got?
Let me chime in. Listen, I agree with you 100%. My oldest daughter has a friend from high school. Right, this guy. I like to do. I think he would take care of her better than anybody she's ever met since then. I mean, they go out, they hang out once in a while. I said, what about this? His name is, what about this dude? She said, well, he's like a brother, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, he's the kind of guy that you should have.
Yep.
This is the dude who's going to take care of you. All this other stuff that you talk about, this guy, Revenge, I met him. I talked to him. He still lives in his communal house with his mother and everybody else. And he still doesn't have a wife or anything like that. It says, this is a good dude. This is a good dude. And, but they got to, you can only lead the horse to water, can't make him drink. Right. So from that standpoint, what can you do? Maybe she'll come back around. And I'm hoping so, because this guy I'd be perfectly comfortable with.
You know
But
what? You know what, Miss? Everything you said and the way you described that dude, I already know. I can think of one problem that's giving her like a mental blockade. Everything functionality, him living with his mom and all, that's not sexy to women these days. And unfortunately, you are right. That is usually the best dude. And I think one way, because I don't usually offer advice, I offer perspective. So let me offer perspective for women. We use the word delusional a lot, and maybe that pisses a lot of women off, but it is true. And one of the reasons women, even educated women, remain so delusional about the man they should marry is because you are actively trying to put off talking to your elders about their experiences and what you want. You need to don't talk about someone, don't be talking with your homegirls can't offer you shit. Even the married ones are talking some bullshit if they're your age. Go to a woman that has done it. Go to like people that have done it, that appreciate functionality in men. Because the weird part about it is that even though you're this delusional now, as some women are, your loneliness is going to change your perspective on everything. That nice guy that y'all love to look over in your 40s and 50s is the sexiest thing out here. Functionality becomes priority one for women once they don't have a man or they've dealt with too many dysfunctional men. It's crazy.
So, Mike, let me land this thing. Let me land the plane. She knows well as I do that he's still with his mother, not because he needs to be. This guy's completely independent. He lives in that communal kind of thing. He's Hispanic, right? So he lives in that communal thing. So when he finds a wife, he's going to move out right away.
Yeah.
He's just doing this for practical reasons. And my daughter knows that full well. He doesn't need to be there. You know, he got cousins in the house and all that other kind of stuff. So I know what you mean, and I agree with you, but it's not because he's some kind of mama's boy living in the basement.
I got you. Man, at some point, like you need to take like literally, what do you call it? Last ditch effort, Hail Mary. You need to.
Oh man, I'm ready to lob them, man. I'm ready to lob them.
Hail Mary.
Yeah, I throw it out there. What about this dude? She said, "Oh, Dad, blah blah blah." But I throw it out there every so often.
Not only that though, because I mean, really, you're a dad and you have grown kids. In our culture, that's to me that it's gonna scare me if I'm anything like my dad or my uncles. It scares you if you don't have a man to pass your daughters off to. They don't listen. It's like, who gonna take care of you like when I'm not here? And the worst part is that not only are you supposed to choose a husband, you as a father have to impress upon him too. Teach him your skill. So you have to have time to do all of that. So there are gifts you can give them, jewels you can drop on them, and they're delaying that process. That would like be nerve-wracking for me. That's why I'll be throwing Hail Marys every other weekend. Bring your ass home. You meeting this guy, this guy.
There's something about that where the dad, if dad likes this guy, must be a problem. I can't get with him. There is a little bit of that. There's a lot of that. If dad doesn't like him and he hates him, well, guess what? That excites me, turns me on.
I had a question about the lady we're talking about, trying to just unpack a little bit more. I've been thinking. So, did he scam her, or was they like in a loving relationship? Everything was going good until the cops kicked the door down, and he was scamming other women. Like how?
I don't think he was scamming women. I think he was just a scammer in general, from what I heard in the story. And she got scammed because she just seemingly didn't know like how he made his money, but he made a whole family with her.
Yeah, that's the
you know what I'm saying?
He was a good man.
Yeah, that's the first issue. Then I think before a woman gets married to a man, I don't think it's the fact that he has money. She should definitely know where it's coming from. She should be able to
Right,
pin
that's what I was thinking too.
where a good majority of it is coming from. I know men with a lot of money oftentimes got a lot of different financial avenues, but she should be able to see, like, put two and two together. Okay, this is where at least this amount is coming from, because that, I mean, for all she know, he could have won the lottery or inherited like a limited amount of money and blowing through the last couple thousands of dollars after they get married.
That's true.
Maybe it's because she thought that typically Nigerians were like successful, and I mean, to some extent that is true. So I mean, she could have just easily. I can see a woman easily saying, "Oh well, he's from here, his family's from." He could have showed her everything that he needed, that she needed to see to believe, and sometimes that's just enough. But yeah, I mean,
or it could have been more lies, and he could have been said something like stocks or investments, something where like cryptocurrency. He could have like that.
Pyramid scheme,
Yeah,
something like
something
that.
But
under.
I think she, like I said, I just think I just have a hunch that she was like the type to be looking for a baller type dude. I mean, type lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just have a hunch for that because, like I say, that type of dude is not the most like conservative guy that you're gonna meet,
You know what?
right? And in the way, in a way that the type of bait that he would be like putting out there to be fishing, right, would be like for something that's looking for that. You know how you kind of get caught by the kind of guy
Let
So
that's looking
so
for you. You know what
let
I
me
let's
mean?
speak
let's
on it.
let's
Hold on,
make
hold
the
on. Let me
connection. Hold
speak
on,
on it
let's
from
make the connection
experience.
real quick because this is going to turn out to be a very educational show. So I don't know the lady. I'm not going to make assumptions about her, but I want to talk about women that are attracted to scammers in general, or how easily women can fall victim to this. Look at what our um look at what our society, what do they love? This is, we are the number one spenders in the world. So a scammer is to be extremely attractive to the average American woman. Everything is flash. Like even back to when people started doing the digital versions of, like, I knew a bunch of them for some reason, and they were all from New York. Shout out to all my New York
Yeah,
guys.
I'm in New York as
All the
well.
ones I knew were from New York. And the way they got girls, because I was a party promoter, and I knew what they did. That's why they like, hey, I'm trying to put in on you. Ain't putting in on shit. You ain't about to have the feds all up in my business. You ain't putting in on it. But the way they would get girls is just by extravagant and lavish gifts. When I was in college, I worked at Nordstrom part-time. That was my part-time job. So I would see them in there. You are 19, 20 years old. You got a BMW 645. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get jammed up. You in Nordstrom buying, boy, back then it was like Tory Burch, Lamb shoe. These are $600-700 shoes for college students, right? So there's no way most girls don't have it in them to be like, nah, I'm straight, I'm good. You don't got to do that for me. They're gonna accept it, but you should know that is not at what the average man has or can do, especially if you don't know what he's doing. If you don't see him going to work in a suit every day, you should be skeptical. But my mic is muted.
And we talk about
Hold on.
lies
Let me
and
speak on. Hold
deceit.
on. Let me speak. Let me speak from experience because for one, I'm a Nigerian. Well, since I'm a Canadian born Nigerian.
He's offended. He like, hold on. He ain't come
Two,
to us like that.
two. To grow up in the Nigerian community that I know who are really scammers and are mostly flamboyant and flashy. Three, one of them supposedly married my sister, and my sister was too dumb and stupid to realize it, even though I was trying to give her a warning, she didn't want to listen. Four, it's a known case when you see certain people in our community. Let me explain why I say that. Scammers, especially from Nigeria, are very, very flashy. Sugar might know this very, very well. You can smell them a mile away. You can see them with the binoculars. The problem with most African American or most women, they're so highly stupid, so highly dumb, and so highly retarded, they fall for the okie doke. This is why I laugh when they fall to the pain. Because first and foremost, you can't tell me you don't watch the web and they have these guys on the street out in the public with their phone or mic acting like you're coming for the club. What kind of guy do they like? A 9 to 5 guy, a drug dealer, or a scammer? And what's the most common denominator they say they like the most? Scammer. That being said, for every lady who date a scammer and gets scammed, you deserve it. Like my favorite show, you just played yourself. As I was saying, the funny thing about these scammers, they're so easy to detect because, like you said, you don't see them wear a suit. You don't know what kind of job they have. They say they make money. They say they're entrepreneur. That's a lie. If you're an entrepreneur, be specific what you do for them. They're not going to tell you that. But for someone, they all got an X amount of time they could go out to the stadium and do all kinds of things. They wear flashy clothes, flashy outfit. I remember I was in high school in Brooklyn back in the 90s. The chicks like to date guys who wear flashy stuff. With me, either a scammer, a drug dealer, or do something else on the side. They don't like the hardworking kind of dude, which is by all means, I could care less if any black woman gets scammed by that scammer. Because if he scam you, you're going to get scammed even more. Because you will scam your goddamn self. Period. So when I hear that story, I was like, one for the money. Whew. Let's see who gets scammed next. Because once again, you keep saying you cannot find a good man, but when your dad or your uncle, your grandpa trying to tell you correct, and you act like you don't know what he's talking about, guess what? Keep on getting scammed. Let me scam out of your damn underwear, your own house, and then some till you realize you're highly stupid. And when that happens, this idea that say women are more smarter than men, it's complete bullshit. I'm saying that because that thing pissed me off on the highest scale. We are not showing my face because I am beyond pissed. I'm tired of the talking point. I'm tired of the BS. And I'm tired of people with the BS ideology that have not been proved throughout the test of time. If you will talk about something, show me proof. If you have not been going through the test of time, shut the hell up. I'm mute my mic. I'm just sorry. Just so much rage I have. I need to get a punch back or body slam somebody.
I was gonna
All
say
this rage. I appreciate. Somebody want to jump in?
Yeah, I was gonna say something to the point where both of y'all just made, because he just added a good point too. Well, the first thing I wanted to say was, hey man, but trust and believe me, it ain't just black women that are getting these scams. It's all races of women that are getting the same type of scam. And to go to what both of y'all were just saying, especially what Trigger Mike had, go along with the culture in Miami. I know for spring break and whenever they do Rolling Loud, a lot of women go down there. And Miami is known for luxury rental cars. These guys go and rent these Lamborghinis. They go and rent these GTRs, all types of nice cars, Bentleys, and then they get these women and they able to convince these women that they balling like that, when it's really like a group of 5 or 6 guys that done put their money in for this one car for one day, and they able to trick them out their panties.
Damn,
But
JT, you sound like you know the deal.
No,
It's
this whole
I
documentary.
it's $1,000 a week plus gas and insurance for a
yeah,
Lamborghini.
it's $1,000 a week. I wouldn't go to Miami a lot for Rolling Loud because I'm a videographer. I shoot music videos often, so I know that type of culture, and I know those guys in that culture. But
Yeah.
in Miami, it's just a big area for women to get finessed into thinking they got a baller, because that's just the culture down there. Everybody down there, even if the stuff he has is real, these guys are gonna spend the last to make
Well,
But
it.
yo,
JT,
let me
who like fast money more than women?
listen. That
Women love
JT
fast
is
money.
JT is spitting such facts right now. So both of my roommates post college, one of them I went to college with, and his boy moved up from Miami to Virginia, to get out of that like culture. Basically, he was smoking too much, drinking too much, trying to get his life together, right? And so both of them from Miami. So when we go back there, I know I've been plenty of times while I was in college, but didn't experience it from the locals' perspective, staying there a week. All of that is 100% true. These dudes literally, so the guy that was a music producer, he had the equipment, he had the nice studio. He had at the time it was like a Ferrari F430, one of them. And I was just like, I've never heard of dude. How did he finance this?
Yeah,
How did he get this car? So the whole week, I'm just like, damn, dude must be rolling the dough, doing something. At the end of the week, my boy, like, man, he rented that shit. By the time I found out he had rented, we had went over to that dude crib 3 times. A bunch of girls there, different girls each time.
So,
Each
Mike,
time.
let me ask. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't know you were
Simply
finished.
because of that car, and the house he was in was his mama's house.
So let me ask this. Men have been inventing ways to get the panties off of women since the beginning of time.
Yep.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, I don't think there's anything magical about the fact that men have creative ways to get some ass. We do that. But what about the women who are preying upon the incels? Because here's the difference. Because this is both sides. It's deception on both sides, right? And I'm not protecting the women. Women who prey on incels who have money because they ain't got no women to spend it on, so they got money, right? So they're getting scammed and all this kind of stuff. The problem with incels who get scammed, they turn violent.
Yeah. In
They
fact,
could turn violent.
you're going first on this next question because since you're already on that wave, let me just get the next question going. What is the worst lie a woman can tell?
Well, okay, so let me go. The worst lie. I think,
finish what you were saying, and then you can.
And like I said, I think the reverse. I mean, women get butt hurt by men and stuff like that because we have all kinds of creative ways to get some ass. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Whether it's a scam or not a scam, men have ways to do that. But I think the reverse is much more dangerous. And on the incels, since we have a growing number of incels out there, I'm sure there's plenty of women who understand I can take economic advantage of that shit. Because men are generally simps. We're going to take sex from a woman any way she's going to give it. And if she can extract dough from you, she's going to do it, right? And we got more 304s now than we ever had in history. Yep. So I think it's dangerous because a man who's jilted is different than a woman who's jilted, right? And especially, these are the guys who are going into schools and shit and all that kind of crazy stuff. So, deception. But the worst thing I think a woman could do, not just scamming a guy for his money, worst thing a woman could do to a man is have a baby and it's not his and blame that shit on him. I think that's even worse. That's much worse than her just having an affair, drinking from another man's straw. I think the biggest deal is her having a baby that's not his and making him pay for that and knowing it from day one. I think that's a horrible thing for a woman to do, which should have jail time once it's found out. That's what I think. I mean, there may be some other things, but I think that's one of the worst atrocities a woman could do to a man.
Well, I got one too. I think the worst thing a woman could do, especially like out here in the dating world, is to lie and say she don't have a man when she do have a man. I was in the bar the other day and I overhear these chicks talking and she like, yeah, girl, he was banging all in my window and old boy was asking me what should I do, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, I'm glad I ain't out here in this dating world like that, because you really put yourself in the house just.
Yeah.
He might come back.
The Matrix is
for real.
Oh,
here it goes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, somebody. I had a call coming in, but no, I'm just saying, like, you get yourself in the cross. So I think that's definitely the worst lie a woman could tell, is to give you the thought that she don't got nobody when the whole time she do. That's all I got.
Solid. EBD.
To your point,
I gotta agree with that. Yeah, I gotta agree with that. The worst lie a woman can tell you is that she's single and available for a man when in all actuality she isn't. If she's dating or she's seeing some side dude, it's better for me to know that now and up front, just so I know who I'm up against and as far as competition goes. If you're if you're one of those women who got a roulette and you're not looking for something serious, but maybe you're dating because you want some free food, or maybe you just want to smash. I mean, my world is going to be all about the smash, but yeah, the lying and the deception is kind of unnecessary, only because I can, we're 2 or 3 clicks away from verifying whether you full of shit or you true, right? So, I mean, you used to be able to get away with stuff like that, but you're like, oh yeah, you single, huh? So, what's your Instagram? What's your Twitter? What's your Snapchat? I'll look at your page, and then we'll see whether or not you've been single for a minute or you got some dude. Who's this dude right here? So yeah, the lies are not going to be able to. No lie lives forever, and women do it so often. It's like another language that we have to kind of decipher to really tell whether it is she's serious or not. So hey, that's what I got on it.
All right. John the Baptist.
I don't like the question. I think the question is where's the worst lie a woman can tell? I think the bigger question to me, you're talking about lying, you're talking about the character part. I think to me it's bad for a woman to just have bad character, period. And the way you keep people's character in check is by what I said earlier, is by keeping community. um, keeping community to keep people, to keep people in check. So when a woman tells a lie, well, we know right now there's a character problem. So we need to get back to why did she tell a lie? Well, who's holding that individual accountable? So I think for me, I think what to me is like one of the red flags I look at, like, what is your community like? Who do you go to for guidance and understanding? If I can't see your guidance and understand, if I can't see who you attach to, I'm more concerned about how you move more than what you say.
Mm. Damn. All right, JT, what's the worst lie a woman can tell?
I definitely like what EBD and King Spark said. I think that is a terrible lie, but it's not the worst to me. To me, I think the worst lie a woman can say is that's your kid. I think her saying that that's your child and it's not your child, and you have to find out either by trying to sneak and do a DNA test, or maybe she's angry and she tell you the truth or whatever. But I think telling the man that it was his kid that you had, and he honestly and truly believes you, you form a relationship with this kid, and 10, 15 years down the line you find out it's not yours, especially to a man who has no kids at all, because now it's like you don't have the offspring that you thought you had. I would say that's the worst of me.
Okay. Black David.
Whew. Interesting question. What's the worst lie can a woman? Hmm. I saw that about almost half a decade ago when a Nigerian couple, you could see they were in their age, in their 40s or their 50s, went on a UK show. I don't know why they don't want to show for some apparent reason. I don't know where there was a DNA test that was testing on all four of his kids. And Sugar Mike, you know me very well when I say this. Nigerian men of a prominent family don't do well with lies. They just don't. So find out all four of his kids are not his. All I can tell you, if I were that woman, file for asylum and stay in the UK. Do not go back to the country. Period.
Mm.
We Sugar Mike know this very well. In our country, women got no say in the type of beer they do over here. Paternity fraud come with consequences in our country. The
Yeah,
problem is the government don't deal with it. The folk does.
that's
So
scary.
I like to scare people with the honest, unfiltered truth because I'm sick and tired of weak ass adult males and females. Remember, I just say male and female. I didn't say women and men. A lot of them are not even men. A lot of them are not even women. They're
Mm.
adult male and adult female. I call it as I see it. If you have to lie to somebody and say this person is the father of the kid for X amount of years, and a medical situation come up front, and they do a DNA test, or not DNA test, sorry, they do a blood test to see if the guy is a compatible match and find out if not, and you go further and find out that's not his kids. When he survives, he should do your ass the worst way possible. But 24 is the worst thing a woman can ever do and hide it for multiple years when a man is fully attached to that child. That being said, lightning and thunder to strike you and your next couple of generations after that. I got no mercy for idiots. That's just me.
All
My
right.
mic is mute.
Humble. What's the worst lie a woman can tell?
Well, salute to all the panels. For me, the worst lie a woman can tell is when she have like 15 abortion and her womb is dead, and she put the blame on you that you're not, man enough to have a child. And
Damn.
it keeps going for like maybe 10, 15 years. Like they
Say
said,
that
you're
again?
enough. Like if she have like 15 abortion before getting married to you, and her womb is dead and she cannot have any babies, and
But she take
now
the ring anyway.
now she make you believe that you don't have, you have a low sperm count, You keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying, and you're gonna be like, what is going on? Like, why can't you have babies? She already know that her womb is dead. She already taken it out. She had 15 abortions before she met you, and she gonna keep making you believe that you are the problem. That's the worst lie the woman can tell.
That's not a lie. That's a curse. God damn.
Yo, that is pretty.
Yeah, I ain't know these women is just treacherous out here. These women treacherous out here.
Oh, this is one I've heard about too. Omega says she's been sterilized due to an STD. That is, listen, this is the direction the world is moving in. So people, we have a free sex culture, people out here doing what you want to, but that does not mean you shouldn't be doing it safely. And the reason, like, I guess so much non-monogamy scares me is for that very reason. People nasty, man. People nasty. I've known as a guy, dudes are nasty. I entered into a whole new stream of thinking once I realized that women can even be nastier than men. That's why I'm like, I want no parts. Like,
hey, EBD, I got a question for you too, EBD.
Go for it.
I just wanted to know, like, I understand the whole sex positive thing, right? The club situation, right? And I've been, right? But my hang up is that how many weekends straight have you been here and some dude been jumping inside your guts? Like, so my question to you is there a number, or do you factor that into where like too much is off limits?
For the woman or for a guy?
For the woman, like if you like trying to, if you're trying to have sex with a woman, right? Or you meet the woman that, you want to have sex with or whatever, but what is the number or the idea in your mind that would be too much to be like, you know what? I can't do this. Because it was a hang up for me. I was like, you come to this club every weekend just to get fucked? I can't do it. I look at this shit like it. You know what I mean?
So then it's an ick factor, right? Because you actually are physically there and you're seeing other men hop in and out, and you're like, well, yeah, it's not appealing. That's not for me, and I can't do it, right? It doesn't matter if you're, they're safe and you're safe. There's a particular ick factor, right? If you're new. But I've been in it for like over 20 years, so I've seen there's so many things that I've seen, so it's like kind of normalized for me now. You know what I'm saying? But if you're like walking or easing into it, there's a lot of like shock and ick factor. It just is. You can't stop thinking about it. But over again, years and a decade, and then you go into this club, and then everyone's getting it. But it's a consent factor. And it's a health factor too, because we get, testing. They bring organization volunteers. They come to the club. They get everyone a rapid blood test, things like that. Get a result. You got your card. Hey, you're clean. Your STD clean. Da, da, da. And then there's condoms in every room. There's this room's for this room's for that. The whole facility's open for kind of sex play. Couples come there, singles come there. There's always going to be a few dudes that go there just because they need to get laid, and they may not be successful the first weekend or the next weekend, but you have to keep coming back and still, work on that game. And then you will run into that girl who's just like, yeah, okay, it's open for everybody. And then you get your chance. And then it starts from there.
I'm sorry. EBD and King Spot. Hold on. EBD and King Spot. Ladies like that in New York City, especially booked, we call them post office. You drop your mail, but never go back to send us.
Wait.
I'll say it again.
Wait.
Ladies like that.
Did she put like a sign on, like a business?
She's a post office.
Is my light on, fool?
So it's like so they can schedule it to where it's like, all right, it's open play. Miss Judy's having something in the main room, so we bring out 2 beds, and then it's like, all right, we'll take 3 or we'll take 5 or whatever, and then that's it. Everybody's got to either wait their turn or just sit there and watch.
It don't sound like this lady's lying. It sounds like she's telling the truth. I mean, what are we talking about now?
Yeah, you right.
We're gonna start a new show called Taxi Cab Ho Fashions, hosted by EBD. This is crazy. All right, let me get this super chat. Black Neo Gib 1 says, do y'all remember Trash Man on YouTube years ago? He purposely gave women HIV and all it took was cars and jewelry. That's crazy and disgusting. Damn. That's crazy. All right. Appreciate y'all for coming through. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the Trigger Mike Show on the Lapeef Network. We got 174 people watching, only 70 likes. Get those up to 100 right now. Hit the like button. It's free. Subscribe if you have not. Shout out to the sponsor, T. Shanley. We got an all-star panel. We're talking about lies and deception in relationships. Everybody is giving an answer to what is the worst lie a woman can tell. Now, I want to know, and chat, I want you to participate. Super chat your answer if you can. What is the worst lie a man can tell? King Spark, we start with you.
Any lie. Any lie.
Any lie?
Any lie.
Okay.
Any lie. Because, I mean, like, for me, like I pride myself in just telling it like it is. Like, man, whatever it is, motherfucker gonna like you or they not. You know what I mean? And what's the point of somebody liking you if you've been lying to them? So they don't even really like you any goddamn way. They like the person that you said you was, right? So I don't even see, like, so any lie, you know, a man should be able to stand on the square. Period. You shouldn't be telling no goddamn lies. Because I can't think of what lie is worse than the other one. Because if you my homeboy Trigger Mike, you say, I got an Escalade, and I find out you don't. I'm like, this weak ass nigga told me he got an Escalade, he ain't got no damn Escalade. Like, it don't even matter what the lie is. I bought them new Jordans last week. Where they at? Well, see, I think my son, he probably, you know, like, what? Like, so, any lie. If you're a grown ass man, you shouldn't. Who you lying to, and why? That's all I got.
All right. Bet. EBD, what's the worst lie a man could tell?
I love you. You're special. You're the only one for me. Baby, you everything in my world. There's no one else I'm thinking about. I won't do it again. Give me one chance. There's all the things that we say. Okay, all the things that we say in order to escape accountability from wanting to screw another woman. I would say these are the worst things that men tell, right? Instead of just, yeah, you know, fucked up, did it, happened, slipped, fell in, dick first, and you know, I'm just
fell in it. Okay.
Yeah.
And even
You know?
even you right on about that shit, because that shit fuck up the game for everybody else to come along.
Right.
That shit fucked up the game for everybody else to come along. That these men been lying to these women
Right.
oh no, baby, I don't like that young strawberry sweetness pussy. I don't like that. Get that away from me. I don't want that type of thing around me. Get the hell out of here, man.
You forget something else. All the R&B artists who had that lyrics in their song, plus say I'm sorry for 2004 on top of that one too.
I remember that one by Ruben. Yep, I still know that one. But yeah. So yeah, but as far as lying though, the worst lie a man can tell is looking at a woman straight dead in the eye and saying like she's the one and the only one when I both know that shit ain't true.
Okay, that makes sense. So I'm gonna go on this one real quick because I agree with you, and I didn't even give my answer on the last one. So the worst lie a woman can tell, it has to do with paternity. And I'm going to stay more around the natural response because when you look at what a man's, that's really a woman's purpose for a man. You're there to help him and further his bloodline. That's it. That's it. You birth my children. That means everything to me. I work on to keep them alive, to give them sustenance so they can continue my name on and my legacy and legend, right? We use those two words wrong, according to Aaron O. Your kids are continuing your legend. Your legacy is actually just property and money. But a worst thing a man can do, so that's what means everything to men. So that's the worst thing you could do to us. Women, it's that love thing that y'all talking about. The worst thing you can do under false pretenses is tell a woman that you love her, period. that you have genuine love for her and deceive her because you know they're susceptible to that. That's where we get into this topic of preying on a woman's loneliness. Women are extremely vulnerable. And there are even the worst part is that we've made it extremely easy to put these women all in one place. All you have to do is go to a certain type of club or certain type of scenery or event to know this is where the lonely ass women hang out. Look at them group of girls over there, not a man in sight. They looking around, they got their titties out, they doing them women lonely as hell, right? That we have made it extremely easy to spot the women that we can prey on that way. So that's the worst thing a man can do, because the worst part about it is if you got any type of game, you the worst one. Talk about talking a woman off of her drawers. I don't even think, let me take that back. It's not really game, because if I was single, it's really intelligence, right? That some people call it negging, but what I do, even on this, like, what do they call it, red pill type of stuff, I talk this shit to everybody, even the women that quote unquote hate me for it. When they can't substantiate their argument against you, some of the women actually find it sexy, especially when you give them a perspective they've never heard before and you make it make sense to them. That's in an intelligent conversation. That's how you take a woman's mind. Now she texting you in the middle of the day, like, I just had another question about you, like, ooh, got her ass. Because when you get her mind like that, when you take a woman's mind, you essentially make them fall in love with you. That's why women fall in love with their quote unquote work husband. Don't ever as a man accept that goddamn oh, this is my work husband. What you mean work husband? Right? This is a man that she's slowly falling in love with because of his intellect and his demeanor. Right? So if you take a woman's mind and manipulate her and deceive her like that, that's the worst lie you could tell. Mr. Rich, you got the floor.
Yeah, I think worst lie is a lie of omission, and it all the shit ties together. When you omit the fact that you're married and you make a woman fall for you, that's the worst lie you could tell a woman. You're married, you're lying to two people now. You're lying to your wife, you're lying to this chick, and my wife better never ever come home and say she got a work husband. That's grounds for divorce. But the bottom line is, so that's one. Number two, one of the things is I'm like King Spark. I never lied to women. Never have. I left so much good tang on the table by telling the truth. I had a woman tell me, listen, you know what? You don't have to be that honest. Lie to me a little bit. And that's before I started to turn into Shrek. I was halfway decent with them. So women, they like to be a little tease lies, so they know if they give you some sex, that it ain't all their fault, that they're not just horny. They want to have the feeling that you kind of coaxed them into it. But I didn't fall for that. And when I was looking for my wife, I gave up just smashing chicks for a while until I found the woman I wanted. I wanted to clear my head. So I don't like to lie. I never like to lie to women. I was like Derek Jeter. I was the guy with the gift basket in the goddamn trunk. After you fool around with them, give them a little gift basket so they know they didn't give you no ass for nothing. That kind of stuff. So I always had good relationships that way. And I don't know why, women used to like to touch me for some reason. They put their hands on me and shit like that. I had a guy charge me up for that. I'm getting off topic. He said, well, how the fuck are women always touching you? I said, I don't know. I said, I just got that pheromones coming off, I used to flap my underarms all the time. Anyway, man, that's it, man. Lying, the worst lie is a lie of omission, fucking around with women in your marriage. For a man, that's what I think.
Bet. Ooh, I got a follow up though. Well, no, I guess it's not a lie. If she doesn't care, does it hold the same weight?
Well, if she doesn't care, you don't need to lie to her.
I feel like somehow lies are always involved in that. But you know what? Never mind. That's a woman lying to herself. That's completely different.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Are you saying does it hold more weight whether or not the woman that like the married man cheats with knows or not? Like a line, is there an extra set? Is there an extra sense of how dirty or whatever it is because the woman like accepts it, or does it, or you're lying to both of them? Like Mr. Payne said,
how many movies have they made from the guy who's smashing the side chick, telling her he's going to leave his wife, or not telling her that he has
fatal attraction?
I was gonna
Fatal
say
attraction.
that's actually what I'm talking about, because I think women like to tell the story that men lied to them. No. They leave out the part where they lied to themselves. A lot of dudes know there's no way to hide their life, or the women that they're dealing with on the side met them knowing they were married. They met them looking at the ring on their hand. They flirted with him anyway because they saw the woman as competition. Then you actually see the wife, then you want to kind of compete with her. I think a majority of them start that way.
You're gonna get some hate
Right?
mail for that, Mike.
But then to keep it going, he's like, nah, things ain't right with us lately. I'm thinking about leaving. And that's the lie I'm talking about.
To keep it going, that's how they started off.
No,
Shit,
you're
they
right.
started off. They started off with, man, shit ain't going good at the house. You know what I mean? Like
that's the
it's
woman
complicated.
That's the
It's
woman
rocky.
that's the woman that's gonna ruin your life.
Oh yeah.
That's
You
the
get
one
a
that's gonna
bunny in
ruin
the
your
pot
life.
every time.
She's
You're
not
gonna
gonna
get the
go
dead bunny
away.
in the pot.
She's not gonna go away. You want to? I'm gonna just not to change the subject. You want to know the worst part about that particular thing? It's really that a woman, when you don't leave your wife, the woman feels a large amount of rejection, because when that particular situation happened to me, I know I got everybody ears now. I didn't have sex with the woman, and she tried to ruin my life. It was the fact that she had created a scenario. I'm sorry, this was an ex anyway, that was trying to come in my relationship and cheat. Literally, he was telling me, I don't care if you got a girl or not, a fiance or not, a wife or not. This is before I was married. She was like, you're still mine. And naturally, when you have that much history with somebody, you're like, this chick is crazy. And it's like, she's not serious. But then I said, I'm finally at the point in my life where I'm able to reject you. And I did. And she still tried to ruin my life.
Hey Mike, let me land my plane on this one before
Hold
John.
on. Let me say something to Trigger Mike. Hold on. Trigger Mike, let me say something to you.
Let me just land this thing and I'll let it go around. One of the things, reason why women are less, men cheating is not as bad as women cheating. It's because when you cheat on your wife, there's a scenario that the side chick doesn't hate your wife. She's envious of her.
Yep.
Right? Whereas if a woman cheats with a man, the man she's cheating with holds you in absolute contempt. That's one of the biggest difference. He says, your wife is drinking the juice out of my straw.
God.
She's doing all kinds of stuff. And he looks at you like you're a complete shit. And that's why a man can't forgive his wife.
That's why dudes can't forgive you. Like, the worst part, I mean, we've seen it in movies. I don't know if I've ever seen this in real life, but they have to depict it in movies this way. When you meet the dude not knowing, you had to know. That's why they be like, you had this nigga shaking my hand and shit.
That's the way he's looking at you like you're the biggest simp in the world. Your wife was just in the talking.
Like, hey,
I was banging that shit out last night. She's over there. You kissing her? What I did to her mouth? Oh,
after what I did. Oh no, you can't.
Oh.
Like, no, that is all ego right there. That is all. The man can't get over that.
Okay, that's it. I made my plane on that one. There you go.
I will say this.
This is interesting too for the men, for the ladies who keep thinking that the men do. Some men do stay with the woman, but the only difference is he has to be the only one that knows about it. This is why we don't talk about men getting cheated on, because you don't hear the stories. I told you I had a friend of damn near 15 years, just told me last October his wife cheated on. We all know. We're like, what? That's why y'all divorced? He never said nothing, because we'd have looked at him like, come on, son. What's wrong with you? He stayed for those girls. He stayed
But
for those girls.
it'd be even worse when that same dude was faithful to that woman. Because I had somebody really close to me, his wife cheated. This Negro didn't tell me for years. Some more years. But the reason he couldn't tell me, because all the times when I was like, yo, let's turn a corner, he was like, nah, man, you know what I mean?
Damn.
So when that shit came out, it's like, man, you know, she so what? See what I'm saying? Yeah. What?
Hey man, I've talked guys off the ledge. I have talked guys off the ledge. I said, listen, man, no man who's been out in the market hasn't experienced at some time a woman cheating on him. So don't act like you some kind of unicorn and shit. You know, you just suck it up, get in the cut with a new woman as soon as you can, and move on. That's it.
Absolutely.
You know, that's all you can do.
I would say
John
this.
Baptist.
Oh,
who's that?
Black David.
All right, John the Baptist, you got an answer?
Yeah. Again, my answer is this. I like the psychology that on these subjects that we from time to time we talk about in society, how we try to balance the positive and the negatives, and the psychology that we use in trying to balance this out. And this is and what I find ironic is crazy is like, what is the worst lie?
Mm-hmm.
How do you balance that out? A lie is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
The one is not better than the other one. I understand the situational things that we talk about, why people lie for various reasons. But in the manner we talk about in this question, there is no good lie. Because what we're doing, whether it's male or female in the last question, males in this question, we're lying to cover up a character flaw. So, and when you lie to cover up a character flaw, there is no worse lie. They're all terrible. We argue from a negative, but we try to make this negative sound positive. There's nothing positive about these lies that we're telling. If we're actually trying to make society better, the question shouldn't be about lie. What is the worst lie? We actually try to make society better. We should be saying, well, what can we do to correct the character so we can stop lying and find out which one's the worst lie? Maybe we're not trying to accomplish that. Maybe we just want to make jokes about what's the worst lie and then laugh at these particular situations that keep coming up about this person being done wrong, that person being done wrong, so we can just find some hilarious thing to talk about. And to me, that's not solving the issue. That's my plan.
All right, JT.
I agree with John the Baptist, but at the same time, I don't think that's an issue that's gonna get solved. I think lying is innate in humans. Period. You can say you don't lie, but you lie. Everybody
No, I
lies.
didn't say. I didn't say we.
No,
I didn't say I didn't.
talking about,
Okay, I got you. I
I
got
ain't
you.
talking about you. I'm just saying scenario. My bad. My bad. People can say they don't lie, but everybody lies. You can say I'm finna be over there in 15 minutes. You get there in 30 minutes. You just lied. So I'm just keeping it real. But I I agree with everything
A
everybody
lie
said.
over 15-minute extra? Wow.
I mean, a lie is a lie, and the truth went in that. But I agree with everything everybody said. I mean, y'all all had some good points. Y'all took the words out of my mouth. I mean, for a man, I think society. I agree with what everybody was saying earlier. Society looks at men and says, "Well, any lie man says is a bad lie or the worst lie. Any lie at all," like King Spark said. But me personally, I would say the worst lie man could do is those love affirmation lies, like EBD said, and not more of a lie than it is an action, but just entertaining and having sex with women they don't like. Like men are bad about that. They will have sex with a woman that they hate sometimes, and that makes the woman perceive stuff as if she's able to get that caliber of men, especially higher caliber men doing this. So if you're higher caliber than anything she's ever dealt with, and you do that to her just to get the box, and then turn around and tell her it was the best you ever had, knowing that you just lied then to get it again, then she's gonna have that inflated ego, and when you do leave the picture, all the other guys are gonna have to deal with her because now the best guy she ever had was a guy who made 50,000. Now you the guy who made 100,000. Now she's not selling it for nothing less, and that's how a lot of these women end up
King Spot.
at 50 years old.
Ikene.
What's up,
Trigger
Econ?
Mike.
What up? Yeah, go ahead, JT.
I got to tell you, I thought you were. Well, I'm done.
All right, no doubt.
Hey, Mr. Hey, Mr. Payne.
Oh man, this is so unfair. Now again, I feel like I have to pass my time to him instead.
All right.
Well, we'll talk. We'll talk. I'm like this. Any kind of lie that a man had to put out there to make his status look better than what it is a lie. You gonna hear that? Oh, I got the magic stick. No, you don't. I got a big house. No, you don't. I work in Goldman Sachs. No, you don't. Now you got it. Come on, convicted for that. Okay, whatever. I work kind of lie that people do just to get a job, to get a promotion, get the lady, get whatever. It's bad. Work husband, I don't follow that one either. While working in corporate America to see the stuff I've seen and experienced, I don't want no work wife. Leave me the hell alone. I had enough headache throughout my marriage. You know why? Working in the bank. I'm doing tech support. I'm going talking to people left and right, male and female. I come home, right to who you talking to. What are you talking about? I smell perfume on you. There you go. I don't have to do nothing to nobody. All I need to have is someone else perfume on my clothes when I come home, and I didn't pay no goddamn attention to it. The first you're gonna say, who you messing with? This is why I think to myself, I'm like a loner at my job. I have friends, I have colleagues, but I have no work wife. I don't plan to have any time soon because you know why? I like my hair full of my head with no bald spot. Period. You think I'm lying? I got an afro to prove it. That being said, and I'm in my 40s, so any kind of lie that give you a lot of headache, that give you a lot of stress, I don't need it. I want my hair growing nice and long. I want to keep it that way. And a woman that lie to me to make me get stressed out, nah, I'd kick you like a bad habit, like 300 a movie. All hell spotter. I ain't got time for that nonsense. That's just me. I am bitching. My mom complained about that. I don't care. When a play again lie to me, she lose my respect, she lose my trust. And I look at you as an undesirable element. Or African, what that means. Everybody else look it up in the dictionary.
Who is this in the back? Colton. Can you come on camera real quick so I know it's you? And I see Reese there. All right. Humble. What's the worst lie a man could tell? He's busy. All right. Mr. Ikene, what is the worst lie a man can tell?
A man, one of the worst lie a man can tell is telling a woman he loves her. Most men don't love women like that. But one of the things that we do that surpass that love is that we can lay our life down for her. So I don't think there is any love greater than that. You see what I'm saying? I don't think there is any love greater than that. If somebody can put his life down for you, that is big. I don't have to tell you I love you. But we do tell women we love them because that's the only way you can get under that pants.
Hi. You know what? Say hi. You say hi. You're to me. You know me well.
I think somebody's
Being
crazy or
trolled.
drunk.
Being trolled, man.
Yeah, I
Trigger
have
Mike,
no
you want to
idea.
shut that down,
Y'all
Trigger
can do
Mike.
that from the
Might want
I
to shut
don't
that
know what that
down.
was, Chief, but I gotta let you go.
Yeah, so you see what I'm saying? That's one of the greatest lies we can tell to women, that we love them, even though we know we don't really love them. But we say that because at the very first day, that's the way you can get under their pants within a week or two. And most men love women after they've hit it. Let's be honest.
So, brother, can we hear how to catch an African scammer too while we got you here?
So
You know,
that
he
is what,
developed the algorithm. He got the algorithm.
yeah.
We just had a scammer on here.
CBN is not happy about that. But I'm telling you, but it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? It is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's not what comes out of a man's mouth that matters, it's his action. Okay, sometimes we might tell a woman we're going to buy them something, we're going to buy them flour, but we never want to do that. We don't want to buy them flour because some of us are not used to giving women flour, but we're going to do it because we just That's one of the avenue. You see what I'm saying? Take her to restaurants. Do you think I want to go eat a food that somebody else cooked and I don't know what they put inside that food? I don't want to do that. But guess what? We have to do it because most women would like to eat out. And 2 months into the relationship, you're not going to take her ass to any restaurant in the next 1 year. It might never happen. And then she's going to cry and cry. You're not taking me out. You're not taking me out because I don't like eating out. But we have to do it because that's the only way we can keep that thing in between her two legs coming. Men lie because women live in lies. You see what I'm saying? It's not their fault. It's their nature. One thing about this is the thing that makes things very complicated is that most of us as men, we want women to be what they will never be in a century. If that marriage lasts for a century, it's never going to be in a century. But we have to do it because it's convenient for her and it's the only way we can be happy with her. Or she's going to be happy with us, I'm sorry. It's for us to do those things that we don't want to do, but she wants us to do. Yeah, that's the few that I can give. I have a whole lot to say, but I don't want to get in trouble, you know what I mean?
No doubt. All right. Reese from Philly, what's going on?
What's good, y'all?
You turn your mic up just a little bit, I think.
What's good, man?
What about that? God damn.
That's good. That's good.
That's too fucking loud, huh? All right. I'm cool.
Yeah, so what's the worst lie a man can tell?
All right. I agree with the brother that just talked. It is, I love you. But that lie is often told as a response. Women will test you. They'll say it first. Very
Go up a
rarely
little
do-
more. My bad. Go up a little more.
Y'all,
Close
am I
to-
good?
Close to
Little
the
more.
mic. Close to the mic a little bit, maybe.
All right.
Your,
There I go.
your headphones probably louder. You turn your
What about
headphones.
now?
Yep.
Yeah.
You
So
good.
I had the headphones up too loud?
Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm learning. All right, what I was saying is, I agree with the brother, but that lie is often told as a response. See, women will test you 99% of the time. They're the ones saying it first, right? And I'm not talking about when you're digging them out. I'm talking about like across from the table. They'll say, I love you. And that's a challenge to see if you'll say it back. And a lot of times a guy will say it, not meaning it, but he knows what's at stake and he wants them guts again. So, he'll tell that lie. But it can all, turn into a whole long road of bullshit if you ain't careful about it. You know what I'm saying? You have to know someone for a long time before you say that. And I think the word itself is bullshit to begin with. Let me explain why. Language governs what we do. What we see and what comes into our ears governs everything we do as humans. Ain't nobody born gay, ain't nobody born Muslim, none of that. You learn all that along the way, right? Love is directly connected to hatred. There's only one way to get rid of hatred, and that's to get rid of love. It's bullshit. It's just a concept. Feelings is something we'll never be able to figure out. You can't take feelings. You can't take fear and put it on a petri dish and study it and see what it is. Forever till the end of time, everybody will just be making guesses, wondering what it is. We'll never figure it out because it's invisible. Love is bullshit, and it is the number one lie a man or woman could tell.
Oh, we.
You ever stood in front of a judge before? You know them butterflies you feel in your stomach? That's the same shit you feel when a woman says, I love you. For a second and a half, you're like, whoa, what the fuck do I say back? You know what I mean? It's crazy. And women, when they tell lies, right? Understand this, man. Women were created and born with the divine lie given to them from the Creator. They can do something that no one else can do, that men can't do. A woman can lie about the paternity of her child, and the whole entire planet has to believe it because you weren't there when she was fucking. You see what I'm saying? It's impossible to prove or disprove outside of science. You see what I'm saying? So she can tell that's a blessing from God. I hope y'all understand that. If y'all believe in that bullshit, whoever created us fucked up right there. Women are created with the divine lie. And you could look all through human culture And you won't find one thing that a man has equivalent to that. Nothing. As powerful as we are, builders or whatever, we do not have that divine lie. Dishonesty is in their nature.
It is.
Like the brother said. I'm going to stop here. I could go forever.
Damn. So let me say this just to make sure. So you say outside of
I'm
science,
here,
there's no way to
Sugar
tell.
Mike.
But if I skeeted in a white woman and a white man skeeted in that same white woman and that baby came out a little brown looking like this, are you telling me that we don't know who the baby daddy is? That's what you're telling me, Reese?
Oh, no, not at all, sir. What I meant was,
I know what you mean. I'm just playing around. Bro.
I know. In our genetic makeup, we don't have the capacity to lie about where our kids came from. We don't have that. Mm-hmm. Women have that. Think about it for a second, fellas. Look at everybody. Listen to these fucking crickets.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I think Trigger Mike, when you're saying when you are a black dude that knocked up a white woman, what comes out is a divine truth.
That is hella funny.
That nobody can deny.
Hell yeah. My baby girl came out. You know, they say babies just slithery. They don't look like nothing. This is her eyeballs coming out the womb. First thing I saw was I said, "I the baby daddy." God dang, look at the eyeballs. I was like, "Whoa!" Okay.
It has to be mandatory.
That's mine right there. All right, let's get this one super chat. Note Valerie, $5. Can you please ask Ikene how to pronounce his name correctly, the Igbo way, since y'all are tearing it up? Please, you got the floor, Mr. Ikene.
Ekene.
Ekene. Not even
Mr.
Ekene.
So Mr. Ekene. I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
You guys are 75. You guys are 75.
We got to get the education right now. We got to get the reason why we keep screwing up his name is because you can't pronounce Nigerian names in an American accent. When I say my own name, I have to use my Nigerian accent. You see what I'm saying? Who's gonna say Mr. Ekene? Like you're not gonna say it.
Wait. So Mike, how do you say Mr. Ikene's name with the Nigerian accent since you got it?
The same way you said it. Ekene.
Like a 3-syllable pronunciation. Ekene.
No stretch. You gotta stretch it.
Ekene.
No. When you come for the Igbo side,
you gotta stretch the last
I'm trying. I don't know.
Next question.
I just want to know.
That's why I don't put my African name here. That's why I don't put my African name here.
I just want to know.
My African name, you allow.
I just want to know that Mr. Ekene did you get a text or email?
You got it right.
I just want to know when I asked you that question, did you get a text or the email from the NAOS? Do you know? Are you a member that? You know who the NAOS is?
What is that?
That is the Nigerian Association of Scammers. Did they text you?
What was the next question? Besides the lies.
Actually, in Nigeria, it's not scammers. It's called Yahoo.
Or they call Yahoo Boys.
Yeah.
Or they call Yahoo Boy. That's another name.
That must be Nigerian for got him.
Got his ass. Yep.
Simple it is.
And look,
Nigerian scam are the more dangerous one. They scam out your own underwear. And you see it coming.
Yeah.
All right. So what's next?
So we're still talking about lies and
Trigger Mike.
Yo.
Can you hear me, Trigger Mike?
Yeah. Did you get to go?
Oh, nah.
No. Go ahead. What is the worst lie?
Let me give my the worst lie I can give is the first question, the first monologue you gave when you started the show.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing that can happen to anyone. I'm basing my answer on family because that is the worst you can do because you're gonna put your wife and your kids on a big stress, like in problem. You can even put the woman in danger.
You know what? I even
you can put the woman in danger.
I do agree because I don't know, what's worse. We all got it's a personal worse. the worst lie you could tell it's really like a running joke, right? It's which lie has the most effect, because the way I see it, yeah, we can gauge the severity of a lie by who it affects. So the people that we want to stone worse, the people that go to jail for the longest, that are the people that commit crimes that affect other people, or groups of people. So to me, that's kind of bad. Yeah, that's really bad. When if you were lying and it only affected you and one other uninterested party that you did not know or something like that, that's one thing. But when you create a family and you deceive, and then you're taken out of the way, and the government got to provide for that family, and now the entire family is stressed out because of your absence, that type of thing, that is a pretty terrible lie. I think you're right about that. All right.
Think about one more thing again. One thing, let me add some content to that, because down here the government get involved with families, but where I'm from in Nigeria, we don't get involved. The government don't have much say when it comes to family, because family handle families. So, but when you are a criminal as a man and you lie to the lady or the woman who you want to get married to, and she get married to you and she don't know that you're a criminal. Your job is only you only clock in at 1 a.m. and get off at 5 a.m. It is like you're scamming people, you're stealing, you're robbing people and doing all this stuff at night. You don't go to work in the morning, you only go to work at night. You will bring disgrace to your family, your brother, your sister, your community. Everybody in your society will be like, they will be ashamed, because we call it disgrace. You're going to bring shame to your whole family. And everybody going to be like, stay away from these people. Stay away from this guy. Stay away from this family. Stay away from this family. They're no good. The brother is a criminal. He's in jail, 7, 15, 20 years. All those type of bad, it's just like a bad image. You're going to bring a bad image to your own family. And they're going to mock your kids in school and say that your dad is a thief. They're going to say that.
But
Even the
humble,
wife.
check this out, humble. This is why in Nigeria, right, we have a way of mitigating stuff like that. They say that you have to vet. That's why your dad or your dad, that's mostly dad from the mother, from the woman's side, we have to vet the family of the girl. Oh, I'm sorry, of the man. That's how you eliminate stuff like that. You eliminate stuff like that by that vetting. That is why it takes almost 2 to 3 weeks or a month for you to get a response from the girl's father if the man can be the suitor, can be the husband or not.
Right.
That is very
Because
factual.
also, before you get married to a girl, the girl's family member will have to come to the guy's house to know what type of family she is going into. Because this is where she's going to spend the rest of her life with. Like, this is where she's going to grow her family. This is where she's going to live for the rest of her life. So they have to vet. Even if you want to, they don't even get divorced like that. If you're talking about divorce in Africa, or let's say majority in Nigeria, both families come together. If I'm wrong, you can correct me. Both families do come together from the female side and the male side. They have to come. It can take almost a year. They will have to sit down, discuss, meeting and meeting and meeting and meeting. They don't even, before it gets to the court, they will have to sit down. The uncles, the aunties, they say, okay, let me give her like 2 months. Let me talk to her. They want to bring everything down to dialogue and see if she's going to come correct or if it's going to come correct. So in my own 2 cents, the lie is criminal. If you're a thief and bring disgrace to your own family, it is the worst ever.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, people just really shouldn't be choosing their own mates, or at least women. Women shouldn't be choosing their own mates. They do a terrible freaking job. Like, none of this is involved in the modern dating process. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Some ladies know they make such terrible choices in men that they hide these ninjas from their family. They will hide the dude so they can keep having fun the way they want to. They will hide the dude. It's terrible. But Let's get the next question going, Reese. We're gonna start with you.
All right.
Oh, damn! All these lie questions. Which one? What's the worst lie you've ever been told?
My
Personally.
my oldest child's mother lied about her age, and
Damn.
Hey,
I didn't find out till 30 years later. And another lie that was
Whoa.
told. When my daughter was in high school, her boyfriend put her hands on her, and they didn't tell me about that till 20 years later. 15 years later. I found that out by accident. That slipped out of somebody's mouth when I was in the next room. I wasn't even supposed to hear it then. My whole family, 20-something motherfuckers, hid that from me.
that's what. That's effed up.
Ooh, who could top that one?
I don't know. That's like a moment of silence right there.
Well, I don't know. Y'all going in order? King Spark, you got something?
No, go ahead.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I
I got a
didn't want
lot.
to get. I didn't want to get involved in family matters.
Oh.
I got one. I don't think we said the worst lie I ever been told. I don't say the worst lie, but I tell you a good one that pissed me off for sure. It was Halloween a few years back. I was dating this chick. So it's Halloween, so she sends me pictures of her and her son, and she's in this lame ass costume, and they in his lame ass costume going trick or treating, right? I'm like, okay. Now she sent that shit to me on her own. A few days later, her phone happened to be open, and I slide through her pictures, and she in a whole different costume at a hotel party the night of Halloween, talking about she was an Eminem girl that say it melts in your mouth. I'm like, you really did that on your own. Like I'm gonna lead this nigga all the way down the river. Like, no, I'm chilling out. I'm about to go trick or treat with my little boy, and that's it. But anyway, that was a good line asshole for you though. You know, they out there.
Yeah, that's crazy. Anybody, go ahead. Anybody. Worst lie you've ever been told.
It was about it was a kind of a feedback when I was in my 20s with a lot of energy but not a lot of experience. So I used to get a lot of the lie, the coddle thing, like, oh, it's okay, you know, it's kind of like it's really good, and then I get ghosted a lot when I in my 20s. I didn't know and I didn't know any tricks about women or pleasing women. I'm running around getting my rocks off, but yeah, the worst lie that women told me back then was how good it was, even though there was no follow-up. So now, like 10 years later or whatever, or even 20 years later, I still talk to some of them. I'm like, well, why did you bullshit me back before and just tell me I needed to do this in order to get you off? He's like, oh, I don't know. I didn't want to hurt your feelings. I'm like, well, yeah, you did. You freaking lied to me. So, and you never called me back. You ghosted me. And now it's like 20 years later. Now I got all these tricks and shit off my sleeve. And now, and now it's like, oh, well, second chances. I'm like, nah, I'm already done. I'm seeing a 21-year-old now. I got, a whole new plethora or dating pool out there now. I got all these experience, tips, and tricks. So yeah, your lie messed you up, not me.
Ooh, ego destroyer.
Damn. All right, so I'm trying to.
I got one better. I got one personal.
So damn, people are ratchet. So do you know what? In fact, I'm gonna let y'all guess. I'm gonna let everybody in the chat guess too. I am guilty. I'm guilty. I've never known how to break up with people. Me and my wife were just having this discussion last night. If you are trying to give the signal that you're trying to break up with your girlfriend and she wants to take control, naturally, women can't really handle rejection. We act like men can't handle rejection. That's a lie. Men been getting rejected their whole life. We're used to it. Women can't handle rejection. So let's say you're trying to allude to the fact that the relationship is not working. In order to keep you or flip the narrative in her favor, what is the worst thing a woman can say? What do you think a woman will say to keep you around and then ghost you?
I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant.
I'm pregnant.
I'm
What?
pregnant.
Either I'm pregnant or we should get married.
That's what I was gonna say as mine.
Dog.
No,
It
it's
happened
And,
to
mostly
and look,
unpregnant.
hold on. Says it and then ghosts me. Like, don't pick up the phone, don't answer the phone. Excuse me? What? And look, here's the worst part. You sitting there like, nah, I wear condoms. Ain't no way she pregnant. But then you're sitting there in the back of your head like, damn, is she really pregnant? Yo, I'm talking about I couldn't go to class. I couldn't concentrate.
Hey, I just thought of something, y'all, real quick. Everybody ready to think for a minute? Here's
Yeah.
the
Go for
worst
it.
lie a woman can tell you. You ready? I'm not pregnant. Everybody now think for a second.
Oh, damn.
And then she is, and then mess around and she
Oh
is.
boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's worse.
That's
She's not pregnant. And years later, here's your son. What?
Oh,
I
your
go.
son come, or your child comes and finds your ass,
All right,
and you never knew.
So while
She said,
y'all playing around,
Dog.
me and my wife
You
joke
beat it.
around a lot, and I told you, crazy ass woman that got upset because she's like, no, we are together forever, and you're getting married to somebody else. I'm not gonna have it. In my head, I said, this woman is crazy enough. Because my boy made a joke. It's like, why I thought y'all had a kid. I saw her with a kid at somebody's graduation. I was like, no, that was her nephew. He was like, nah, that kid was dark. And I was like, what? I said, I don't know. Maybe she was watching one of her line sister kids.
Let me tell y'all why I told y'all that real quick.
Yeah.
Because there's a chick up here, and I promise you, next time I come on the show, I'm gonna have her name and her social media. Chick up here in North Philly. She introduced her son to his father at his funeral. That's when he found out.
Damn.
Whoa.
Not the kid's funeral, the father's funeral.
Yes.
That's
That's
when he met his
badass.
father. That's when he met his father.
Yeah. I was waiting. I was doing the math in my head about how old, if a woman had a baby, if she had a baby and hid it from me, how old would that baby be? I was like, that used to be my worst fear. Impossible at this point. But I'm like, what if she show up after I'm married? I got my own kids, own life, everything. And she like, this your son. Look, that to me is like, damn. But my wife can't leave because it happened before her. She can't go nowhere.
It takes
I got
you
a
to
good
plan
one.
B. He didn't.
What would be more fucked up is if the police show up at your door
God damn.
with a child support order because you ain't paid your damn child support off a nigga that you ain't even know exists.
Oh,
Ray Ray, who the hell is Ray Ray? I don't know anybody named Ray Ray. He's just working on the Maury show.
They can actually do that
The
because they
old
wrote
man
your
got you
name
thinking,
down.
huh?
Name down.
They can actually do that. They can write your name down, not tell you.
That's Detroit.
Woo!
That in Detroit, Michigan. I know.
Y'all understand why
I got a good one. I got a good one. But this is messed
I'm
up.
finished. Go ahead.
You say that. Hold on. I got a good one. This is messed up. Imagine your own crazy ass parent blamed for the divorce and had it doing over your head for a year going on. Like, you don't really why they got a divorce. And messed you up. No, because here's the thing. Let me explain why. Remember when the ID caller first came to existence under AT&T?
Mm-hmm.
My mom taught me how to use it and monitor it because she was suspecting my father was cheating on her. Now, me being a nerdy ass person, I know how to use it. My father figured out I'm that smart enough and went behind my back and deleted all the numbers and said I deleted them. They got into a fight to the point they got divorced and they put the blame on me, put on my head for many years until my aunt made it known that my parents used me as an escape route to hold themselves responsible. So they got me feeling somehow in some kind of way to the point whereby I ended up losing faith and trust and hope. To put a lie on a young child and blame them for something that had nothing to do with them and make that child feel guilty growing up to the point where they were like, you know what, you can't trust nobody. And this is why I have the personality trick whereby anytime your mama come near me, you better be careful. Within 30 seconds when they get body slammed. So this is why this is why I had the black sheep mentality whereby any family member who lies on me, I can tell from my when you're lying. I will actually clear it up. If you don't clear it up, let's be careful when you're around me. Because the next time you're around me, it may not look nice. You may find me on the New York Post or New York Daily News body slamming people a couple of times. This is why I tell people I got no mercy for liars. They're all female. You lied to me, you're my black book for the rest of your life. Just make sure you disappear. Don't show up in front of my face. Period.
Indeed. All right, who
Yeah,
got?
Trigger Mike. Trigger
Yep.
Mike. Somebody in the background wants you to finish up with your story. You ended up where it says, you remember when you're talking about your
Yeah. I
son said
finished it up.
you
I finished
you
it
look
up.
like you care.
Yeah, I
You didn't
finished it
finish it
up. I
up?
was basically saying that that same woman, yeah, that said she like ghosted me after she lied and told me she was pregnant, so I wouldn't break up with her. She did it basically to just turn the like the what do we say, the control in the relationship lies with the person who cares the least. She did that to flip the dynamic on me because I was tripping. I could not concentrate. I didn't go to class for like a week. My boy's like, "What's going on with you?" I canceled events. I didn't go to work trying to get in contact with her. But nah, obviously she wasn't.
Because you knew what your dad and your mom were going to do to you if
What? That's your wife then? That was like, that's your wife.
no
I was
negotiation.
young.
If you in Africa, if you get a woman pregnant, that's your wife.
That's your
No
wife,
child
bro.
support.
I mean,
That's
she
your
was
wife.
my girlfriend, so not that it's that much better, but luckily they knew her. But I'm like, that's just messed up. How you gonna do that to somebody and then ghost them?
I just
Yeah,
think at a certain age, you
my
grow out of lying. I mean, maybe when you're younger, maybe when you're a teenager, maybe when you're a young adult. But there's a certain age where lying that isn't beneficial anymore. You really see the damaging effects of it, and you just grow out of it. I mean, some people more mature men do in their later years. But women, for women, lying is a mechanism to escape accountability, which leads them to a lack of change. They can't really look in the mirror and see anything wrong unless somebody tells them the truth and say, "Hey, there is something wrong. Here it is." So
And
yeah,
that is
lying
factual.
is yeah. Go ahead.
That is factual. 'Cause I know people in my family who would take a lie to their grave, and they think that nobody would have know about it because when I say I grew up in a family of liars, and they try to paint me as a liar, but I don't know what been straightforward. I mean, now about it, tell the truth. This is why my family is afraid of me. So don't be around me because they know when I see the BS and they try to put it upon me, I get them that look. I have kept quiet long enough growing up, and now I'm a grown adult. Fear for your own life. Fear for being around me, and stop the BS. I have people lie in my face, from mothers to my own mother, my own father, my own brothers and sisters. I have aunt lied on me. I have people out at the point whereby when it changed me, I'm not gonna lie, I became too afraid of my own self because I wasn't afraid of anybody. I want people to
I
understand that
have
I have a mixed martial art
I
background that I learned in Africa. When I was in high school, and I became too dangerous for my own self because it took me time to control my rage.
mhm.
At one point, I was trying to audition for UFC, so I want people to understand this. I was trying to join UFC so I could get rid of my rage. Period. Because if I'm on the street, I promise you, I don't need a weapon. All I have to do is break you to multiple people in my brain. And this is why I hate fake ass people. I'm in my little beast monster mode right now. I'm trying to release all the ways because I hate people. I've seen people have lied to me throughout my life. And it got to a point whereby enough is enough. So I tell people, I'm not no bully poach. I'm not no big bear. I'm not be the African black bear or the African black or whatever you want to call me. But one thing I do know, if you lie to my face, if I find out, don't be near me. I have been lied on for far too long and be made to be something I'm not. So when I find out the truth years later, and I'm like, really? This how it is? Bet that up. Don't let me catch you.
I have one,
I remember
right?
my
So
dad
my
before he
uncle,
passed away. Before he passed away, I'd snap on this dude for lying and trying to incriminate me to the point whereby it took me my brother and my cousin on choke slamming him. I had this man 3 feet in the air with one hand out of pure rage.
Damn.
wow.
Y'all,
You know how
y'all are
strong
violent.
you got to be to do that?
So
I'm an African. You forget?
But
I was gonna say
that's
Play
a
along.
big
this
range.
is a bad
That's
episode for Nigerian men. We're scammers and violent people on this
I
particular
was
episode.
trying to get my Tarzan on. I was going to do a
I'm gonna
Hey,
Tarzan
this
belt.
nigga got bodies. He sound like his bodies in the woods.
yeah, man.
All right,
Fucking with
anybody
that.
else
So
got anything on this?
I
yeah,
know what he
so
means because
I got something to say.
I joined fight gyms to think that I was
Like,
going to get rid of, that rage, and it was a bad move. It was a bad move. When I
Yeah.
found out that 99.9% of the people in the world can't fight, when people used to say shit to me, I would hospitalize them. I did it 4 times last year. I'm 53 years old. Why do people still fucking with me?
Damn.
Why? I wear headphones everywhere I go. I don't say shit to nobody. How I'm getting in fights with niggas. Niggas that can't fight. They don't even know the 1, 2, 3s of self-defense. The basic first classes.
They don't.
Younger ones.
that's why they shoot. They can't fight. They shoot people. They can't fight.
They can't actually fight.
That's why they carry guns, man.
But even when they don't have their guns on them, they got their mouth like they do, and it's
Like
a bad
Yeah.
mistake.
And the worst part, it's not even that they can't even. Not necessarily that they can't fight. These people are afraid to get hit. That's what it is. They're afraid to get hit.
That's kind of why I got more respect for athletes than people who aren't.
Right.
Even if
I'm
it's
not
tennis.
afraid to
Like
get hit. I was in Muay Thai for like y'all said that. So the people come in there with that rage, came into my gym with that type of stuff, and naturally you could see them like, bro, are you trying to murder the bag or murder me? What's going on?
Yeah, they said that to me in college. I bought the punching bag in college.
Hey, CBN.
Check.
Yeah.
I got something for you.
Wow.
So check this out. Right. So my uncle was when he was so my uncle had a girlfriend, long-time girlfriend. So they've been together. They were together for like about close to 9 years. I've never known my uncle with any other woman except this girl. Very beautiful. But for some reason, he wouldn't marry her. So my uncle then went and started dating this other woman, right? The beauty between the two of them is just it's a huge contrast. The long-term girlfriend is very beautiful. The wife, she's average, right? But that's the person that my uncle wanted to marry because she's more homely than the girlfriend. Do you know? So they broke up, and then the girlfriend came to my uncle's house to put up a fight, and she brought a knife and a cousin.
What?
She brought a knife and a cousin
Damn.
to the fight. Yeah. So the fight never took place, but then she ended up telling my uncle she was pregnant.
Oh.
And my uncle was like, damn. He was like, forget that. He went and married his wife, right? For all these years, this is why it's not my uncle anymore. It was me. Because for all these years, I thought my uncle had a daughter out there. So last year, so this happened 1993, right? 1993, 94. That was when this thing happened. So last year, which was 2022, I was discussing with my uncle, and then I was like, hey, what about your daughter? Your daughter that girl had for you? He was like, no, she didn't have no child. I'm like, no, she has your daughter. So we went back and forth, and then my uncle was like, you know what? She said that to him, and then he asked her, okay, to show proof. But before the proof, my uncle said he remembered the girl telling him that she went out to date my uncle's friend. After they broke up, she went and dated my uncle's friend and came back and tried to date my uncle. But my uncle already got information from his friend that they've been chilling, So that's how my uncle knew it was his friend. Yeah, oh yeah. That it was his friend that, oh yeah, that was his friend that got her pregnant. So my uncle asked her, okay, can you submit for DNA? She's like, yeah, she's going to submit for DNA. So she submitted for DNA. That's how my uncle found out that wasn't his daughter. Then I looked at my uncle, I'm like, You're just telling us after all these years? We all
you
thought
know
you
what?
have a daughter.
You know what? This gives me an idea. I'm going to start a business idea since this seems to be very common in these streets. The same way these wild ass women be throwing divorce parties, we are going to throw "You Are Not the Father" parties. I bet
Maury
you
parties.
that's going to
Maury.
be packed every damn weekend. That spot will be packed. You are not the father. Hey, I'm buying drinks for the whole damn bar.
There's a probably there's there's gonna be a whole song or music video with just "You Are Not the Father." That's all you're gonna hear. They're gonna remix it.
I'm gonna be honest. Listen. If you do that on purpose, I don't care what you're a terrible human being. Paternity, because I just thought about it this way. You're not only lying to the real father, you're lying to the child about who their father is. That like, yo, there's a special place in hell for you. Special. Like you have to go on carrying that lie. There are women today carrying on that lie.
There's a lot of women today carrying on that lie.
That's why I called it the divine lie from God. There's no mechanism in nature, science, or anything else that can prove it or combat it. Anything. There's nothing that can go up against that. Nothing. It stands alone by itself. Period.
All right, we're gonna get to the next question. Anybody can jump in on this one.
Let's get to the next question.
What is the worst lie you have ever told? Who's gonna be transparent? I'm tempted to go to the neighborhood hoe, EBD. I'm tempted to go first. Let him go first, but anybody can go. Chat, what is the worst lie you have ever told and don't lie?
I'm trying to pick out which one.
Damn, which one?
I'll go.
Hey, listen, I go first. Why are you thinking? I don't have no lies, man. I really can't even think of one.
I will go. I'll be honest. All through high school, I had to lie my way out from being bullied.
I'll start then.
I wasn't a virgin.
Damn. This one gonna make me look bad, y'all. So, the lady that is frequently in these stories is my college girlfriend, or one of them anyway. And we were one of those groups of people that I guess as I was getting older, you think you're gonna marry this woman, that type of thing. Then I realized some point after we had done so much damage to each other that two people are never supposed to do that much stuff to each other. The way we would retaliate when someone did something wrong, it was ungodly. So the part that was really messed up is the people that helped me retaliate against her. One of the women I told her about because it happened before her and I didn't want her to look crazy. She had just crossed Delta. So then I go to the probate like, hey, my baby, then I see who one of her lines is. I'm like, oh shit, I got to tell her about that. I don't want that to take her by surprise. So I told her she won't trip. Then we fell out for some months. And I don't know if y'all know anything about sororities. They cross in huge lines. Their line be like 50, right? The dudes don't do that. The dudes will be anywhere between 1 and, under 20 majority of the time, really under 10 most of the time. So they don't really chill with each other. All of them don't like each other. They break up into little groups. In fact, some of those groups don't like some of the other sisters in the other groups. So a girl that some of the women naturally when they cross is women that you've messed with before, you flirted with before, and they know that one of their line sisters or one of their sorority sisters is your girlfriend or used to be. So one of the girls came up to me like, I heard y'all broke up, whoop-de-whoop. And I'm like, nah, you can't do that. That's foul. She's like, I don't like her ass, no way. By the time I had left college, I had taken down 3 total of my ex-girlfriends, at the time, girlfriend's line sisters. And when she confronted me about that, because, women want to let other women know they had your man. Like, you see what I'm saying? I was like, how the fuck she find out about that? Of course, she let her know and gave her signals because they didn't like each other. I straight up lied. I straight up lied. I was like, this lady's about to poison my spaghetti or something. I straight up lied. I'm to this day, I was like, I'm dying with that lie. So when I was
Not
confronting you,
anymore.
I
Not
straight up
anymore.
lied.
You just
No,
said it online.
look, I straight up lied. Till this day, that was the first admission of that. Yeah, I smashed not only the one that you were referring to,
Hey,
I smashed another one
hey,
on that
Money
line as well.
Mouse is calling you 304 Trigger Mike.
It's all good. It's all good. We've all had this phase in our life.
Yeah. Oh, what were you gonna say, Mr. Payne? I think you said you had something, right?
Yeah. Let me go real quick. Because I couldn't think of anything, but yeah, when I was in college, I had a girlfriend. We were living together, and me and this other frat girl, we smashed somebody else, and somehow she found out. Well, first of all, my frat brother, we was over his house, and the chick I was hitting had a chain, and it fell off while we was doing it in his kid's room. And I told him, I said, listen, man, you got to find that chain before your wife comes home. He says, well, I can't find it, man. I said, shit, that shit's in there, man. Find it. As soon as his son was home, he was putting that shit in his mouth. And so instead of him telling his wife, I left I had some frat brothers over there, they had some girls. It wasn't me, it was them. He immediately told his wife, Rich Payne was over here with another girl. She got on her phone and she tells my girl, your guy was over there stroking the chick in my room. And I was like a stupid fool because I was naive, 19. I admitted it. One of the older frat brothers told me, he said, you will never admit to that shit. I mean, a woman could come in the room and see you in the cut. It's not me. That's not me. I saw you, but no, that wasn't me. It wasn't me. He said, you never admit it. He said, even if she thinks she got you dental right, just don't admit it. Because all she wants to hear is the admission. And, and my life was a living hell for like a year after that shit, man. So that was about one big lie that I got caught on. And, I learned from that. I never admit shit anymore. I ain't do shit. It wasn't me.
The shaggy defense. It wasn't me.
We need some ladies to come up on the panel because they don't like these questions. They're gonna try to act squeaky clean and destroy us in the chat. How about some of y'all ladies come on and tell us some of the lies y'all done told? We want to know.
So I have one that I did. I have one lie, right? So this is what happened. So I made this. Oh damn! I gotta tell you something. Hey, baby, good. Somebody else, please.
Okay. I'll He's like, no. You know what just happened? No, hang on. You know what just happened? The most intellectual, long-winded soliloquy dude said pass on a question. Can you believe that? Okay. So I got one. So the last lie the last big lie that I told cost me a relationship at 32, and after that I'm like, you know what, I'm done with lying. Look what it did me. Look what it got. I mean, I got a little extra on the side, but I mean, lying about it. This is the time when this is back in like 2010, I want to say. This is back when cell phones didn't have biometrical locks and she can go through your phone and your texts without there's no password or nothing like that. This is back in that era. So yeah, you can kind of text and set something up, but you get caught real easily back in that time. And when I got caught in my early 30s, that's when I kind of decided that I was kind of done with it.
Nice. King Spark. King Spark done told a lot of lies.
Hey, look, I didn't tell a lot of lies. I tried to tell the truth. I used to lie a lot, but then I said when I turned 40, I said, man, I'm not gonna lie to these hoes no more. I can't do it. I just let them know I want to fuck your friend.
That's pretty old. To stop lying. I got you beat by about 10 years.
Hey, look, hey,
pretty old, bro.
Hey, it don't matter how it started, it matters how you finish. But I got a good lie for you though. I got good, and y'all can put this in your pocket. I don't know how good it's gonna work now, but this was a fucked up situation. So some time ago, I was out of town. I was with my I was in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It was with my baby mother. You know, fuck you. So anyway, so this is what happened, right? So I go over this shorty house, right? And you know, this is back, you know, we used to wear the white t-shirts all summer, right? So you know, you go over to shorty house and I got the white t-shirt, but I got it like up under my chin. You know how you trying to hold your shirt up under your chin while you knocking it off, right? But the shirt keep falling, but I'm trying to put it back up under my chin, right? So anyway, this story gets bad, right? So look, so anyway, I'm hitting the joint, right? So I'm thinking the joint is getting real, like it's getting real wet. I'm like, oh shit, I'm going crazy in this motherfucker. I'm doing my thing. Man, let me tell you.
Please don't tell me.
We turn on the motherfucking light.
Oh, please don't tell me.
Yuck, don't.
Please don't say it so.
A fucking massacre in that
Say
bitch.
it so.
Oh my God.
Oh, God.
Yo,
So
I think every dude has lived this horror story.
So it's madly. I got on a white t-shirt, right? So I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? So I thought about it. I pull around a Taco Cabana. I was like, can I please order a large strawberry soda? They gave me the soda. I poured the whole bitch on my lap.
Genius.
Went home. Baby was like, what the hell happened to your shirt? I said, baby, you know how when you get the drink and sometimes it still has some drink on it? I grabbed that bitch and it slipped and fell in my lap. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Shit. Get out that motherfucker. If you're watching, fuck you, bitch.
Yo.
Immediately threw it in the washing machine.
Video about you.
Strawberry massacre.
Hey,
This
threw
is
it straight in the
hilarious.
washing machine, didn't it?
Straight up. Straight up.
Get that Tide extra. Get that Clorox, motherfucker.
She never knew how to solve a problem. First off, she probably had to like look and you had to explain so she take her eyes away because strawberry soda don't look nothing like no goddamn.
No, but it wasn't. It was, you know, I did it. It was
the whole drink.
It
The
wasn't
large.
no spot. It wasn't no spot. You know
Did
what
she
I'm
buy?
saying?
So did she buy it? Did she buy it?
She had to. I had. What you gonna do? A nigga show up with a
Wait,
strawberry soda on his.
You know, but you know, women can smell other women. That's why I asked.
Oh, perfume.
I smell straight like Fanta. I smell like Fanta.
I was gonna say that.
I smell like Fanta.
And it's
the Fanta killed it.
He's like, she'd be like, come here. That Fanta pussy? Is that a new drink? Fanta pussy.
So if I can think about it, those little stupid knick-knacky type lies. Do you know that I think women find they're fooled in the moment. They find out about that shit like literally something in life makes them put the pieces together. And I think I've been in a situation where like what if it was years later you still with her and you actually order a strawberry soda and she says some shit like don't spill it on your shirt this time but give you the side eye like that. Anybody ever had that moment where you like she figured that shit out probably a week or two later but just couldn't say nothing?
Bruh, I can't believe you have a OJ Dick story like that, bruh. I can't believe that, man. I can't believe it.
I couldn't think of nothing else. I couldn't think, but nah, this is like 4:00 in the morning. It was no pull up to another store, get no. I'm already late. You know what I'm saying? Because I done got lucky and shit, so I'm already late coming back.
You got unlucky. You got unlucky.
Right, exactly.
I'm looking like Carrie from the prom.
I bet you had a fair shirt on you every day after that.
You the real OJ. You the real OJ for
He the real OJ. Yeah, he got the bloody glove and all that. He's like, look, it ain't mine. It don't fit. It ain't a magnum. It don't fit. It ain't mine. You must acquit.
Yo, he's the real OG for real.
Yeah, for real. I'm sorry. That OJ, the fake OJ. You the real OJ.
He the real OJ.
I don't know how you put that one on. I'm thinking like,
bro.
Hey,
hold up. And you pulling this right here?
Yeah, I'm trying to hold right. I'm trying to do that joke right there.
I'm from the hood in Brooklyn. I live out here. I'm a Brooklyn nerd. I haven't heard not one brother say he had done that. You're a real OJ for real. I don't know how you pulled that one.
Hey, that's how I get.
But a Brooklyn chick, They will smell it even further. Like, hold on, let me smell it very properly. You will try all type of weird method to figure out if you're lying or not. You special.
Yes, so I mean, if you ever mess up a T-shirt,
What is he? Yo, I'm looking away. What is EBD doing?
He threw it straight in the washing machine.
Whoa!
He tried to figure out how you pull it off because it didn't make no sense.
you
I'm
got
telling
things
you,
on your
anybody,
feet, man.
And at some point, all men are gonna realize they should have just took the goddamn shirt off.
If that was my baby mom, she would have put that shirt in a big ass plastic Ziploc bag and sent that shit off to the nearest university to get fucking examined.
And again, you ain't no affiliate, so that's possible. Temple University next door.
Right.
FBI Chronicle. Here, I got something for you. You find out who pussy that is. I want to know. It's an X-File.
Y'all are wild. Anybody else got anything on this?
Nah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll pass.
How are you? Wait. How are you the longest talking one of us out? How you gonna pass on this?
Man, listen, he done passed on 2 questions. He passed on a scammer question. And what's the biggest lie he ever told? The biggest lie he ever told that his name is Ikene. That ain't even him, man. This nigga's lying right now.
Okay, let me lay it down. Okay. Higher volume, okay? Higher volume. Count. So what happened is this, right? I had this girl one time. So I was actually on my way to Lagos, but me and her, we made up, and then I told her that she's going to be my girlfriend. I took her from a different guy. So her boyfriend was my best friend, right? So I took her from that guy, and then we had sex, and then I
Why you whispering like we can't hear you?
Use the mic.
Okay, a little bit louder. So my best friend, right, took me. We went to his girl's house. I didn't know that was his girl, but when I came there, she was a girl that I met like 2 days earlier. She was very beautiful, dark skinned, very beautiful. And then I was like, damn. So what happened is that about a week later, I came and met her again, and she told me she wasn't interested in guys, she was interested in me. And I was like, damn, that's good. So after we hit it, I traveled to Lagos. I never told her. So I was actually running away from her. So when I got back, she started chasing my ass and be like, you took me away from a different guy and then you bailed on me. So I didn't want to tell her I didn't like her. But man, she was damn beautiful, so I gotta be around to hear that shit. But after hearing it, I was quitting it.
Oh damn! You pulled a hit it and quit it. I get that is not that disgraceful in the West. Okay.
No.
In fact, the girls do it to the dudes more now.
Shit, they prefer it nowadays.
That's not that bad. So for him, we gotta understand this is very disgraceful for Mr. Ikene. Okay. He does not like the fact that this went down. He is disgraced. That's why he whispered the whole damn time. He told us. But anyway, y'all continue.
Yeah, but it's not the full story, but let's keep it like that.
We'll keep it like that. All right. So we're going to switch gears real quick. Spaces says Ikene don't want to answer because he's scamming right now. All right.
Exactly.
So now that we talked about lying and everybody's propensity for lying, I just want to tell you how ironic it is that for any other subject, the women will come up and talk. But after inviting women, when we're talking about lies and deception, they stay their ass away from this conversation fully. We know y'all be lying. Y'all the worst ones. I can't believe y'all duck this conversation like this, and I'm going to remember it on every panel I'm on from now on.
Well, it would have been good to have PhD Diva up here, man. PhD Diva up here.
No, PhD Diva does not lie and she farts glitter. No, she does not. It's wrong.
Kelly Bev, Black Beauty.
No, this is how they'll hold themselves accountable. It was so I was dealing with a man who lied to me, and I was deceived, and I was victimized, and so it was the man's fault, and that's how I'm alive.
So this is what I mean. So the worst part about it is women actually won't come up to answer questions like this, because even if they did the same thing that a man did, what the is that?
Somebody dishes, ain't it?
The Matrix is busy. Like, even if they did it, it's viewed as disgraceful, and they knew that when they did it. That's why they don't want to talk about it. They knew that it was disgraceful. Somebody is claiming false paternity right now in the chat. Sorry, I don't know who. I got a few guesses. Somebody is in the middle of a false paternity suit right now. Somebody cheated on a man with their best friend's man. Somebody did something that bad, right? And they'll never come up and say that shit willingly. But that's why we always got to find out after the fact. But all right.
They'll be like, question. I lied to myself by believing in this man and everything he said. That's how I lied.
Yo, you know what I would really appreciate? One time I just want to see a notorious whore just come up on the panel and just keep it a buck all the way for hours.
Have we had that before? Oh yeah.
I'm having it on my podcast.
We had God damn it. Chat, help me out. Who is the notorious whore that keeps coming up here? And she says it. I'm not calling her a whore. She calls herself one.
Was that the younger? Was that the younger Anya? Anya
coming out here. Where you at, Anna? Are you in the chat? Come up and talk to her.
Yeah, I want to meet her.
No, I don't know if you do, because she's not going to be able to answer the kind of questions you want to ask.
Anna was a troll too, though.
She was more of a troll.
Philly, my nigga. The notorious whores breathing are from right here. Right here. I don't give a fuck where you from. The most notorious whores on earth are from here. Period.
Philly?
Yes.
Everybody.
Wait. Can you like name like at least 2 or 3 that we all know, I guess?
Nigga, I know chicks with 10 baby daddies.
Y'all supposed to be putting names out there like that.
I don't know.
Hey, Reese, you been to Houston? Reese, you ever been to Houston?
South. I was gonna say.
You ever met a grandmother was 27, nigga?
Hold on. Reese, you been to Houston before?
You ever met a grandmother that was 27, nigga?
Hey, look,
I've met that before.
In a place,
and you feel like
there's a place.
I know 32, but
do you know what North Philadelphia is? This is the home. This is the home of the hood, nigga. That started here and then spread everywhere else in America.
I'm gonna tell you. I used to live out there in Philly, North Nashville Street.
The biggest black neighborhood in the world, dog.
I'm gonna tell you about Houston. Real quick. There's a place in Houston,
right,
off of 59 South in between Beltway 8. Okay. Hey, Bissonnette Street, boy.
Yeah.
Hey, it's more holes been knocked and John's been cocked on that motherfucker.
Let me tell you how let me tell you how there are 2 ways I found out about Bissonnette, man. And yes, I'm telling the truth. Don't troll me. My parents, the Nigerian restaurant that's on Bissonnette, Finger Licking?
It's like behind the old Popeyes, I think.
Yeah, I know Finger Licking. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, like 4-5 months after I moved here, naturally my dad called his friend and was like, we need some food, something, and they didn't pick up. Then he was like, look up some Nigerian food. And I lived in the gallery right down 59. So I took him down 59. I made the turn. And I was like, we got to be in the wrong area. They were out in the daytime. So then we went to Finger Licking. That was the first time I seen it. The second time, I did not know where I was actually. My wife was my wife signed me up for some healthcare day at the school where she was a speech pathologist. And she said, can you come speak to the kids about being a health administrator, whoop-de-whoop. So I used Google to get there. I went the back way. Then coming out, I had to go to the gas station. I made a right, not knowing on Bissonnette what's that? Is it Raceway? That huge gas station?
There's a racetrack. It used to be racetrack right there.
Yeah, racetrack. Yeah. I'm filling up, bro. One of the bops walked past me. I thought she was homeless because look. I'm looking at her. She has her like a see-through, what is it called? Fishnet, whole ass out, nasty ass booty. Dog, she walks up to me because I'm staring like, what the fuck she got on? I pull money out of my pocket. I thought she was homeless, bro. I had no idea where I was at. And the dudes was looking at me like,
stop lying. You about to pay for
what's going on here? I gave her like, God damn, she must be homeless. I gave her $5. Then I keep going down the street, like, oh, I'm on this damn street again. Damn. Look, I don't even know. It's not even legal here, but I don't think they mess with them anymore. I'm sure they didn't like, look.
How many times did you
I don't know how many of you know the Northwest DC. Like when I first came to this country, right? I was out there at Northwest DC. Like it used to be Georgia Avenue, right? Where all those ghetto shit is in DC. Like this is the hardcore. When you talk about ghetto, man, half of the, I would say 20% of the people over there are effed up, drugs. So
it's bad.
Many Nigerian guys own these car dealerships out there. So they invited me to come because that was when I came to the US News. So one of the guys told me, hey, come to my shop. So I went there. So they were going to haze me. Do you know how these guys haze me? They brought a girl from the street. I'm talking about all these drug prostitute girls. They brought one of them, and then they made me to sit down. I didn't know what was going on. And all of a sudden, this girl, fat chick, like 200.
Oh, the Matrix. You see? He said fat chick.
The Matrix.
What the hell? This nigga turned that nigga sideways.
You need to get that firewall up. You need to get that firewall up. I know what I got myself.
Yeah, it's been hitting us all today.
Get some Verizon, man.
I'm telling you,
Mike,
Philly, North Philly, he's correct. I used to live in North Philly. And New York City, especially Brooklyn, if everybody know Red Hook and downtown Brooklyn back in the 80s, that was a nightmare place to live in.
Damn.
That's what I say. It's both North Philly and Brooklyn.
No, I've been to all the hoods around America, right? Let me get some context. So let's line up the other cities around America that have over 1 million people, right? Let's talk about Chicago, 900 homicides, New York, 700, whatever it is, right? Those cities are Chicago is like twice as big as Philly. New York probably 8 times bigger because they count 5 cities as one, right? If New York City had Philadelphia's murder rate, y'all would have had thousands of homicides every year. Put that into context, right? There's another neighborhood we have up here. It's in North Philadelphia. Nobody on the earth knows about this, right? You can Google it, anybody who wants to, in the chat or sitting here or whatever. Called Kensington.
Oh, I'm not talking about.
Oh, I know about.
Now, let me explain something to you. This is the only place on planet Earth where you can walk a mile and you will see thousands of fiends and 1 or 2 regular people.
Bro, they like zombies out there. I know what you're talking about.
Google it. I dare you. These are the worst white people on Earth.
I'm tempted.
And
I'm going to have to do it.
It's smack dab in the middle of. Wait a minute. Hold up.
He's not lying. I walked there and I saw it. I walked back.
Listen to me. People sound passionate right now because it's so real. No one in the world knows about this. And it is the worst white neighborhood on Earth. There's nowhere else where you can walk a mile and see all addicts, trash, tent. I ain't gonna fuck about
this trash. Is this real trash on the street?
My nigga.
Kensington, he ain't lying about it. Everybody.
You have to go there.
Okay, let me give you some more context. That's the white neighborhood in North Philly. All right, that's the white neighborhood in North Philly. I'm not going to talk about the niggas. You look at that, and that will give you context of what this is. Here's some more context. I left Philadelphia to get away from all that shit, and guess where I came to get away from it? Camden.
Oh, damn.
Camden is better. There you have it.
Damn, Camden used to be the murder capital for those of you.
I can vouch for him, man. As a truck driver, I done been through Kensington. He not lying. Like, you don't see one person who is not a drug addict. They call it zombie town.
Google it. You'll see cops leaning.
People are standing up and leaning over, sleeping, standing up. Like, everybody is drug addicts out there.
For miles.
Miles. He not.
Yeah, Kensington is really bad. I've been around.
Nowhere on Earth.
Yeah. So this is what I. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh,
My bad.
okay. So this is what happened, right? So when I walked into that, so they made me sit down, and then this fat chick, right, like 200 and something pounds, about 5'5". She just walked straight to me, and I was looking at her like this, like what the hell? And then she pulled up her dress, man. All her breasts just came down like. I almost had a heart attack, man.
That
Like,
is too much. I've seen that in DC. I've seen that in Norfolk, VA.
oh,
Yeah,
wow.
this is actually gonna get worse if we stop playing about it. This is gonna
Oh
get
yeah.
worse. Once AI start replacing these people's jobs, people don't even understand that you're not even supposed to live. People won't be able to maintain their standard of living. Therefore, they won't agree to live any other way, and then they'll realize that that's going to end up with them being on the street. Like we're gonna have so this Kensington stuff that I've seen it in San Diego. Like their Skid Row is really bad. I've seen it here on Bissett, here in Houston. Houston has a huge homeless population too, but yeah, most of these cities, the homeless stuff is getting really bad. But anyway, let's get the final thoughts. I gotta get out of here. All right, anybody got any final thoughts?
Brother, Ekene.
Yeah.
What that thing simply means is welcome to America.
That's what they did to me. Welcome to America. Yeah, that's what they did to me. Yeah.
I guess
Get out of here, y'all.
Yeah.
I just wanted to thank you for letting me up, man. A couple people asked me to come over here and bless the show. I like this channel, man. I'm subscribed now too.
No doubt.
Black Dragon, I'm gonna check you out. I'm the Red Dragon.
Nice.
I'll be over there, dog.
Got you.
I love all of y'all, man. I'll be back.
You're welcome anytime.
All
bro.
right.
Yes, sir.
EB, you got a channel too?
Yeah, it's interracial dating. It's interracial relationships, sex, dating, and marriage. And so far, it's just been a monologue. But I have some friends from my lifestyle and all that want to give their perspective on stuff.
So you got them snow bunnies over there.
And why don't you put it in the chat?
I'm dating a snow bunny, but yeah.
Snow bunny.
Because we playing around with it. We dancing around. We need to understand this life a little better. So take my email in the back chat. Put together, look, it's going to be PG-13. We don't want the NC-17.
Right. I got you. Yeah.
But put together a PG-13, maybe flirt, or panel of people to explain the life. Like, I don't know, we'll call it like alternatives, sex life or sex positive life or whatever, and do a show on.
Yeah. Put your channel in the chat, man.
Yeah, I'll put my channel in the chat.
All right. Anybody else want to shout out the channel before we get out of here?
Yeah, my channel is the same, Ekene Igwenago channel. But my channel, this is what it is. We talk mostly about investment, business in Nigeria and in diaspora, like Pan-Africa business. So what we discuss mostly is how to develop Black cities into attraction cities, into business cities. So it's not going to look as trashy as it is anymore. It's going to look modern, where people can come and invest. But my most focus is mostly in Nigeria, and that's in Nigeria, so that people can come there and invest. But also for people in Nigeria to come here to and invest. It's all about Pan-African to me. But it's mostly business, investment, culture, and the rest of it. Yeah, but we do discuss family matters, but we will take family matters and relate it into building the next business adventure for Black people, and also how to do transfer of wealth.
All right, I'm gonna be hitting you up too. I'm be hitting you up. I need to get my international. You know, I work remote, so I need to get my international businessman on every now and again.
And I ain't got no channel. You know, I ain't got no channel, but we still right here. Smoke something, DC. We got the brick and mortar smoke shop, 3232 Georgia Avenue, Northwest DC. Fuck with your boy.
I'm gonna come check you out. Just keep
I do have a channel. It's called CBN Tech Talk. I want to talk about tech, about building people.
Yeah, I put mine in the chat too. So my last one, I'm gonna drop another video. Women control access to sex, men control access to marriage. I'm gonna get ready to drop that one.
Nice.
And I'm put my little diatribe to both of those things and explain how that works. Because we say that a lot on these panels and stuff like that, but do we ever explore what it really means to have control and access?
Nice. And
I subscribe to you already, Mr. Enrich.
I appreciate that.
Y'all stay tuned because I forgot. You know, Moses to come on here. We're talking about.
I'm subscribing to the
look,
channel right
he's trying to find a
now.
wife, right? Good dude. So we're gonna have a shoot your shot show where women come up, and you know, I think Bruiser does that type of thing every now and again. So I'm gonna research how that type of thing goes. We're gonna start doing that. You brothers trying to be
Again, do
married.
you know what am
You know
I?
what y'all be coming up here for? Y'all want the game, and y'all need to know how it's played. So we'll let the women come up and shoot their shot, market themselves. So we're gonna start doing stuff like that as well as, and also, y'all know I'm going back to work. My days have got a little bit too much time in them now, so we're gonna start doing the Trigger Mike show at night for y'all. For those of y'all that want to tune in around that time.
What time are you talking about?
I don't know. It'll be evening, 7-8 times, something like that. On non other Lapeef show days. So definitely not Thursday, you know, stuff She Critique on Friday, stuff like that. But appreciate y'all for coming through. All right, y'all. We out. Thank y'all for coming through to the Trigger Mike show today. Appreciate my panelists. We got this last super chat. Trigger Mike Dragon got on the smallest white tee on earth. I ain't seen a size -3 before. Bless his heart. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for everything y'all have done. Thank you for the super chats today. For the ladies that didn't come up, I'm very disappointed in you. For some reason, when we talk about lying and we talk about deception and we want to have deep conversations about our mistakes, y'all never want to come up. This is very ironic. I find that to be very telling, but we love y'all anyway. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll catch y'all tomorrow again on the Trigger Mike show. I have a new topic for you as usual. We appreciate everything, and I'm out.